San Antonio's Sports Center.
Big game tonight in San Antonio. Spurs look to even up the NBA Final Series with the Knicks at a game apiece. Tip-off from the Frostbank Center for Game 2 tonight is 7:42. Chicago Bears took a significant step toward leaving Illinois today. Board of Directors voted to advance their stadium development in Hammond, Indiana, with the exact site still to be determined. First time the Bears board has voted on any stadium site.
Sports Center brought to you by SAPDcareers.com. The San Antonio Police Department is always hiring.
From the studios of San Antonio's Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Blitz. 2 decades on the radio, Jason Minix. 2 decades on TV, Joe Reinagel. 2 San Antonio sports voices you've trusted for years. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
I want to say happy Friday. It is right now. We'll see how it is about 10 o'clock tonight. Hi, everybody. Thanks for spending a part of your Friday with us here on the Blitz 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagel. He is Jason Minix. And I tell you what, I think Spurs fans fired up for Game 2 tonight.
As they should be. I mean, yesterday was a day of therapy after the Spurs dropped Game 1. You've watched them throughout this entire playoff run. They typically bounce back. Just like in the Minnesota series where they had an awful Game 1, came back and dominated Game 2. And I think one of the differences that you're going to see tonight at the Frostbank Center, unlike in that second round series, Minnesota played Game 2 to a degree. Now, granted, Spurs were great, but you remember what the talking points was. They were happy with the split. I don't know that this New York team is going to come in with the mindset that they've accomplished what they wanted to when they got on the plane heading to San Antonio.
Yeah, the Knicks would like nothing more than to go back to New York up 2-0 with an opportunity to not come back to San Antonio. For sure. Look, I expect a much better performance out of the Spurs tonight. We've talked about that. Wemby typically responds to a poor outing with a good one. I think De'Aaron Fox plays better tonight. Well, everybody. Steph Castle, I mean, you can go down the line. Devin Vassell, they have to play better tonight. I just can't imagine another laid egg in the Frostbank Center tonight by the fellas in silver and black. Should be a good one.
Yeah, well, and again, I expect it to be a good one. I expect the crowd to be crazy tonight. Just seeing the additional people that are gathering around downtown around all the TV sets. You know, it almost feels like, well, it's 2:02, that a lot of people said, hell, it's Friday. Let's take off and we'll go downtown. We'll be a part of all the festivities and then go to the game or go wherever you're going to watch the game because, man, it is pretty incredible when you think about the finals being in San Antonio.
Well, it's so much fun, and obviously want them to win tonight, so at least we're guaranteed a Game 5 back here in San Antonio. Again, I expect the Spurs to play better. I expect them to even the series up. We're going to talk to one of the experts, though, that will let us know how he feels. Antonio Daniels, former Spur champion. He's going to join us about 2:35 minutes, and look forward to hearing what he has to say.
Well, always. AD is always so good. In the perspective, and, you know, you think about everybody that we have had on this week, former Spurs that have won rings, a lot of them on that 99 team when they beat the New York Knicks.
Yeah.
What I love is, they are rooting for the Spurs, but they call it how they see it. Now, Danny Green won a ring here, not 99, in 2014, and you heard him say, and he's been pretty consistent on television as well, he didn't change his tune because he was on with us, that he picked the Knicks to win this series, but he was rooting for the San Antonio Spurs. I still have a hard time believing that there is a team out there that is going to beat this Spurs team 4 times. But if the Spurs team that showed up in Game 1 shows up again tonight, then yeah, that team can be beat 4 times. But when you look at, I mean, we spent a lot of time yesterday talking about how bad Victor was and how bad De'Aaron Fox was. But it's not like anybody was great. You know, Dylan Harper was probably the best player on the Spurs.
Without a doubt.
And I don't know who a close second was in that regard. Maybe a Steph Castle for a complete 4 quarters. Although We didn't see enough Dylan Harper in the fourth quarter. But Julian Champagnie was great in the first half, not great in the second half. And the more you watch some of these basketball experts break it down, you realize what New York was doing in targeting Julian Champagnie on the defensive end and going right at him. So the chess match, what does Mitch Johnson and John Sweeney do to counter that, to protect Julian Champagnie a little bit?
Well, it will be interesting to see. There will be some adjustments made, I think. Or is it just simply a matter of these guys playing better? And again, I think New York can play better than they did in Game 1. So I'm expecting both teams to be better, and I think we're going to have a hell of a game here tonight. You talked a lot about pressure when coming into the series, and rightfully so, that most of the pressure is on New York because, the fan base is expecting a ring. I just wonder, has that shifted a little bit? Because tonight, and everybody's mentioned it, I've heard must-win game I don't know how many times today, which is ridiculous. But if that's what you want to go with, that's fine. Must-win game. So the Spurs certainly know they don't want to go to New York down 2-0. Has the pressure shifted in that regard where they're going to come out and knowing that they have to perform and they have to win?
Everybody in the NBA Finals is facing some sort of pressure. I think team-wise, it is still on the New York Knicks to finish the job. This historic run that they are on, whether they're out of the East or not, they are a hell of a basketball team. Jalen Brunson is that dude, and he proved it the other night in Game 1, as if he had anything else to prove, because, quite frankly, as I said coming into this series, I know the Knicks are good, but how good are they? Because they haven't been tested yet. Well, they're down 14, and they end up winning by double digits. 12 straight playoff wins by double digits, right?
Unbelievable.
And how they are doing things. We give Devin Vassell a ton of credit for accepting a different role on this team. Karl Anthony Towns, in a lot of ways, has gone through the same thing. And, what Mike Brown has done with Cat, but there's still that New York pressure. Although I don't know that anybody out there has more pressure on them than Vic. And a lot of that is pressure that he puts on himself to be great at everything all the time.
Well, and it will be interesting to see what he does because he said it himself after the game that he had poor performance. Mitch Johnson basically said the same thing. And I mean, just listen to us yesterday and the callers that we had. Wemby had a poor Game 1. And I would have to imagine he's tired of hearing it. He's tired of seeing it on film. And he wants to go out and make amends to that. The question is going to be, he's going to want to do that. But I look at this New York team, and boy, I tell you, Jason, the reason they scared me coming into this, because I just don't think it is a good matchup for the San Antonio Spurs. I don't. And they're going to have to figure out a way to get around them. With the big men that New York has, they can do a number on Wemby. And I think maybe if he was tired the other day, which there's been mixed reaction to that, whether he was or not, it looked like he was. I mean, are they going to take advantage of that? Is that why he's not getting into the paint? Is it because of the Knicks' big man? There's a lot of things that Wemby has to answer, and this is not a difficult it's not an easy task for him to do because of the defenders the Knicks have.
And quite frankly, and I know we asked this of Malik the other day, we asked this of Danny Green, because none of us know what it's like to be an NBA player. And what I find it comical, how is a 22-year-old tired? They're young. It's different than us going and running a 5K or, the walk around the block that a lot of us will do. The physical beating and then the mental toll. I don't care how old you are or what kind of shape that you're in. He has played more games. This entire group has played more games than they ever have before.
That's right.
And the pressure of all these games, whether it was the series with Minnesota adding up, the series with Oklahoma City adding up. So when we say tired, it's not like we just went out and mowed the lawn and, and edged and it's 100 degrees outside and you just want that cold beer and sit in the recliner in the AC. or quite frankly, sit anywhere where the AC is working.
Yeah, it would be nice, wouldn't it?
It's a different kind of tired that we're all talking about.
Yeah.
And I think most people understand that, but when people are like, how can they be tired? They're all young. It has nothing to do with youth.
No, nothing, and especially Wemby. I mean, the game plan going in on him, and everybody said it, was to get physical with him. And everybody the Spurs have played have gotten physical with Wemby. And again, it takes its toll after a while. You mentioned the fact that he's never played this many games in a season before, and it's a ton of games. I mean, it's a ton of games, not to mention the fact that in every single game, he gets the hell beat out of him. Mm-hmm. And that's just the way that it is, and that adds to the tiredness. And maybe that's why he stayed out of the paint. Maybe that was by design to get him a little bit of a break. I don't know. I just know that New York has the guys that can get physical with him. They've got guys, not just one guy. They've got several guys. When you look at that monster in Mitchell Robinson, and then whatever Cat does, and you got Hart. I mean, there's a lot of guys that can bang a Wemby around, and it's not going to get any easier for him. So he's got to find somewhere a second gear, something. Where he can get his body back to where it needs to be to have a good game. And watching him tonight is going to be my main focus. I want to see exactly what he does and where he stands, how they use him, especially on the offensive side.
210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. You want to let us know how you're feeling about tonight? Will it be 1-1 when it goes to New York, or are the Spurs going to be in an 0-2 hole? You can also comment on YouTube. Get to YouTube through sasportstar.com or search out San Antonio Sports Star. If you're already on YouTube, you can always comment there or even get us on Twitter.
Absolutely. A lot of ways to get a hold of us, a lot of ways to make your voice heard. So get that done, will you? Again, Antonio Daniels is going to join us about 2:35, about 20 minutes or so from right now. So be sure and stay tuned for AD. He's going to come on and give us his expertise. This is The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
So without LSD, Pink Floyd wouldn't be Pink Floyd.
I would agree.
Kind of happened with me with weed in college. I had my Pink Floyd moment, sat in Indian style in my dorm room and listened to some Floyd, and I felt it. I was like in it. I've never seen God, but I did see Pink Floyd.
Listen to the John Clay Wolf Show Saturday morning at 8 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Mellow Mushroom has the best pizza in San Antonio. Mellow delivers the best pizza experience with their delicious dough, premium ingredients, and unique flavors. Delivering a higher order of pizza is the standard. If Mellow can make a pizza this delicious, imagine what they can do with munchies, greens, calzones, and burgers. Mellow Mushroom has San Antonio's best happy hour with food specials and half-off adult beverages. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
Hi, everybody. Joe Reinigle here for Window Nation. You know, it is June. Summer is here along with those hot summer days, and that means constant AC use and high energy bills. It is time to upgrade your home's windows this month during Window Nation's Buy 4, Get 4 free sale. Imagine replacing all your windows with new energy-efficient ones and getting half of them for free. Plus, you could even get them with no money down and no monthly payment or interest for 2 years. Don't wait to put an end to your window problems. Sale ends soon, so visit windownation.com to book that consultation.
My name is Jessica. Years ago, I was diagnosed with a thyroid condition. I slept all the time, was fatigued, had no energy, and a bad attitude. Now I've lost 50 pounds and I'm still losing. My medications have been scaled back, my emotions are stable, and I have lots of energy. People at work say I'm happy, perky, and my husband says he's not walking on eggshells around me any longer. The Institute for Functional Health changed my life.
Call for your complimentary consultation, 210-468-1891. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health.
Hello, Connecticut. May I help you?
This is Bill Tyson. Is this my Connecticut Pro?
Yes, Mr. Tyson. What can I do for you?
Calling from Yellowstone National Park. Old Faithful just erupted and reminded me I didn't set the vacation bypass on my Connecticut water conditioner. Would you run over to my house and set it? I've hidden the key under my doormat.
Well,
I forgot to set the bypass last year. I had that other brand, and the software used up 4,000 pounds of salt in a week.
Mr. Tyson, relax. With your new Connecticut, there is no vacation cycle or any worries about salt. If you don't use any water, your Connecticut won't either. We not only believe in saving salt, but also in saving water.
Would you go over and unplug it then? I'm trying to conserve electricity.
You forget that your Connecticut doesn't use electricity either. There's nothing to plug in, and don't forget that your Connecticut is also completely automatic.
Mean I can relax and enjoy my whole vacation?
That's right.
This is great. I've got Old Faithful here at Yellowstone and an Old Faithful in my Connecticut water conditioner at home.
The last water softener you'll ever own. ConnecticutSA.com.
License number 38961.
Big color, bigger savings. Sherwin-Williams Super Sale is here. Get 40% off paints and stains June 5th through the 11th with prices starting at $30.89. Whether you're refreshing your interior or exterior, we've got the colors to bring your vision to life. And with delivery, getting everything to your door is easier than ever. Shop online to have it delivered or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details. Delivery available on qualifying orders.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
Hello, I'm Ozempic.
And I'm other GLP-1s, kind of like him. Hey, are you shaking a maraca?
No, I'm shaking the pill version of Ozempic, which no one should ever do except in ads like this.
A nice disclaimer.
Hey, thanks. Ask your doctor about which FDA-approved uses of the Ozempic pen or pill may be right for you. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and learn more about Ozempic semaglutide tablets, 9 milligrams, and Ozempic semaglutide injection, 2 milligrams.
There's a pill version of Ozempic.
Got a buddy who thinks he knows baseball? Perfect. On Rangers game days, prove it with the Morning Huddle's Rangers Double Dinger Payday. Pick the Ranger you think will launch it out of here. He hits one, you and a friend are headed to a Rangers game. He hits two. Now, you've got tickets and hotel. Yeah, you're making a night of it, and your buddy's buying the first round. Wake up with the Morning Huddle. Call your shot and win the Morning Huddle's Rangers Double Dinger Payday. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the Texas Rangers. San Antonio and New York. This is where you come to talk about the finals. 94.1 San Antonio.
Well, hopefully we're singing that song about 10 o'clock tonight or so after Game 2. The Spurs are victorious in Game 2 of the NBA Finals. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagle. That's Jason Minix, and we want to hear what you have to say as well. It's going to be an interesting game. So many questions going in, Jason, that and we won't know the answers to them until we see the game.
Well, and again, Game 1, neither team played great basketball.
No.
And the Spurs had a 1-point lead with just over 2 minutes to play. Jalen Brunson had an incredible fourth quarter. And so, yes, the final score ended up being double digits. But in the final couple of minutes, that game was in the balance. So if you're looking for reasons for hope, Spurs fans, is that it? I mean, you look at just how poorly everybody on the Spurs played, not named Dylan Harper, and yet they still had an opportunity to win that game. That's why I think you had a lot of guys, including Vic. It wasn't cockiness. It wasn't being overly confident. It was, yeah, we could play better. Although, as it's been pointed out by a couple people, sounds pretty shallow considering we all made fun of the Cleveland coach who went, well, why am I confident? Analytically, we should have won these games. We got all the shots that we wanted.
Yep.
And you know what? That also is true. I mean, so part of it is the Knicks. It's what they do. And they win all these games. They've won all these games by double digits. The scoring margin for them in the postseason is pretty incredible. And you know they're not going to go away. You know, just like in the Oklahoma City series, you knew that run was going to come. That's why, you know, when they were up 15-0, you're like, crap. And they lose that game by double digits. And I think part of that in their experiences in this postseason is why Wemby is pretty confident going into tonight's game too.
Yes, it's very reassuring. We know we're not here by chance, you know. we've been through some weird situations or whatever. And yes, it's reassuring to know that these guys, the 18 guys we got, are built this way and are resilient.
They are resilient, and they've proven that through this playoff run. Unfortunately for them, they got to prove it again. And that's the thing about the NBA Finals or any playoff series, for that matter. There's going to be ups, there's going to be downs, and you got to react to all of them in the appropriate way. Spurs, double-digit leads in Game 1 on 2 separate occasions and lost both of them. So, look, we know they can play with them. We know that, but they got to not only play with them, but they got to hold those leads.
They got to hold those leads, and as Wemby said, that's the mental part of the game.
Really, I think the reason we lost that game isn't even technical. It's not even technical, tactical. It's we need to approach the game with a better mental state, and we just need to play our game. We just need to be normal. We don't need to do anything incredible.
I'm not sure exactly I'm not sure exactly what he means there, other than to say, did they not play normal in Game 1?
Normal means trusting each other, trusting the basketball guys, trusting the game plan, executing, and not relying on talent so much to make shots or to save the day. We've been playing a certain way all season, and we've been successful this way, and there's no reason to change the day the finals start.
Well, and I agree with that. I mean, you don't want to change. And I think, and when you look back at that game and be thinking about it, and you listen to various talking heads talking about it, I wonder if, honestly, the pressure of Game 1 or just being in the NBA Finals got to them a little bit in the fourth quarter. And by that I mean, the Knicks just kept coming back. And I think maybe the Spurs panicked a little bit, especially with some of the quick 3-point buckets that they were shooting and just missing horribly. I don't know that, but it just, thinking back and looking at it, maybe the moment got to them for a minute.
Well, I know yesterday Mitch Johnson had a different answer than after Game 1 because he had a chance to review the tape on rushing a lot of those threes.
Thought some of the threes felt rushed. Some of the threes may have still been good shots and still felt rushed. So I think there was some of the execution of what got into or went into the shot, and then some were just the shots themselves. And again, that's just something we'll have to continue to give feedback to the guys on, hopefully improve as the series goes on. But we did get a lot of looks up from threes last night, and again, maybe a few of those needed to be more plays towards the rim or paint. That might not have been the shot. That might have been the stuff that happened before that produces the shots that we got. But yeah, there's a lot of things offensively. It's a very delicate ecosystem where one thing leads to the other, and the ripple effect can be rather grand when you pull back the layers and get into the weeds, and we have to continue to respect our style of play and brand of basketball.
Again, they were rush shots, and I think the Spurs, when they do that, or it's any team, not just the Spurs, but if you rush those 3-pointers, most of them you're going to miss. And that's what was happening the other night. And so I think that the Spurs just have to settle down a little bit. And maybe it's Game 2. They settle down. They get their feet under them. They realize what they need to do and how they need to do it, and they come out with a W.
You think about the rush threes, and you think about, all right, what adjustments they're going to make. I thought it was rather interesting when Mitch Johnson says they've got to get easier looks on offense.
Yeah, I think, there's a combination of things. We've played a couple teams similar that are very committed to guarding the paint with bodies. And so whether it's, in the half-court set configuration kind of that you're speaking of, or just in general, I think we have to make sure we don't fight the game. If a team is going to be very adamant and committed to taking away something, typically that means it's opening something else up elsewhere. That doesn't mean that thing is going to be a direct result in that, but we have to make sure we pass the ball to open guys. We got to make sure we continue to put pressure on the rim. And that's not always for ourselves, and that can be with the roll, that can be with the cut, that can be with the drive. And I think last night we got a little away from that.
Well, and I understand exactly what he's saying. I mean, and I think we were all complaining about this in game one. Why so many three-point shots? Why? Why are you taking them, especially when they're not falling? Why do you continue to take those three-point shots? I think what Mitch Johnson is simply saying there, be a little more patient. We don't have to settle for threes every time we go down the floor.
I thought that our offense in general did not put a lot of people in the right situations and spots last night. New York had a lot to do with that. They did a good job. Towns, to your question specifically, did a good job being physical and being in the right spots. But I think the way that we played offensively is in terms of a team and our brand, we didn't play with the pass enough. We didn't put enough pressure and force on the rim and the paint. And so it led a lot of making or missing shots and us trying to play with talent offensively instead of playing together and finding opportunities to take advantage of forcing defenses to put themselves in making decisions of giving up this or giving up that. And so New York gets a lot of credit for that, but I think that we have a lot of room for improvement on that moving forward.
No, there's no question about that. And if you're Coach Johnson or any of the coaching staff for the San Antonio Spurs, you had a field day with the film. You had a field day. You're in there. I don't know how long their film session was yesterday, but it had to be a marathon. It had to have been because there were so many things that they could have done better.
I am curious, and I haven't seen anything or heard anything that gave any indication of that. The good news is every one of those players at this point understands where it went wrong. And, Mitch Johnson, it's his first trip in the NBA Finals, too. We talk about players making mistakes. I think a lot of us feel like he made a mistake in not playing Dylan Harper any more than he did, especially in that fourth quarter. But he stands by it. I mean, that was the decision that he made. So, he was asked, are you going to play him more in the fourth quarter in tonight's game?
There was definitely consideration. Dylan had a heck of a game and was playing very well. And that comes with, when you have a lot of good players, those decisions. And so Dylan did not finish the game by nothing that he did or did not do. And it was a decision I made. And I understand that there would be logic in having Dylan in that group, but I thought that group that was out there did some things during a stretch, and that's who I rolled with.
And you got to respect him for that. I mean, he is the coach. He makes the mistakes, whether we agree, or the decisions, whether we agree with him or not. And obviously, and I don't want to make a huge deal out of this, but obviously it pissed Harper off. Did you see the retweet of the De'Aaron Fox tweet comparing him to James Harden? And I guess Harper, he says he accidentally did it. At least that's the story that I've heard. But he accidentally retweeted that as in support, as in agreeing with it. Isn't that what that means typically when you retweet something?
That was hacked. That was an accident. 19-year-olds don't make social media mistakes.
No, they don't.
50-year-olds can pull that. Yeah,
old guys like me can.
Yeah.
I damn sure can. Mm-hmm. And in fact, any tweet I've ever sent anybody, it was a mistake. I got hacked. Mm-hmm. If it was bad.
Technology is what it is. Joe yesterday was texting a friend to get him on the show, and he actually texted me because I gave Joe the number.
Yeah.
It happens.
Yeah, it does. It does.
It happens.
But a 19-year-old Dylan Harper probably did. Look, he was probably pissed. And whether you agree with that or not, number one, he's got to learn from that. You can't do that. If you got a drama with your teammate, you handle it inside the locker room at this point in time. And I'm sure he's been told that. But, again, that's why I don't want to make too big a deal out of it. If it was an accident, if it wasn't, doesn't matter. I think they've kissed and made up, and everything is fine.
He meant to heart it and accidentally retweeted it. Look.
Yeah, 19-year-olds don't do that.
And
if he's hearting something, I got to talk to him myself. Stop it.
Well, yeah, but see, that's hidden now. It used to be if somebody liked a tweet, everybody would know it, but now that's hidden, so you can do that. You can't be like Kevin Durant hiding the bushes so the paparazzi doesn't find you over at Nobu and Malibu, but, stuff like that can happen. You got to realize if you're Kevin Durant, you can't hide, even at Nobu and Malibu. No, well, the paparazzi caught him.
Interesting stuff. We'll see. But I don't think there's anything to be made out of that. And again, I'm being reminded here on our YouTube page.
MySpace?
Hello! Fred Villarreal says Harper and Castle call Fox Unk.
Yep.
Well, I get called that all the time.
Wow.
I mean, so is that a derogatory term at this time, or it just means you're old?
Can we get this Unk into retirement now?
So, I mean, look, De'Aaron Fox is only 28 years old, 27, 28 years old. So, I mean, if that's old, for goodness sake, but I'm ancient.
But in that locker room and in basketball years, I mean, he's the chaperone at Chuck E. Cheese.
Well, sure.
I mean, let's face it. I mean, they all have to go to him to go buy the beer if they actually drank beer. I mean, remember when you were in college or – when I was a young sailor in the Navy and you weren't old enough, there was always somebody else that would make sure everybody was taken care of.
Well, unless you were in Alice, Texas when I was a kid, and if you had you had money, you could buy whatever the hell you wanted.
Well, see, again, I guess you're right. In Alice, that was probably the same in Copperas Cove. But Dry County, we used to go over to Lampasas, and there was the beer barn in Lampasas where you could show your school ID in the beer barn and get whatever it is you needed. You just never got change, and you knew that going in.
Well, sure.
Yeah.
And that's cool. And no problem with that.
Yep.
Our place was the Ice Box.
The Ice Box.
That's what it was called, yeah. There was a convenience store called the Ice Box. No problem. Didn't matter. A 3-year-old could have bought a six-pack, and as long as they had the money, it was fine. No problems. Hey, let's talk to an expert, a guy that's been there and done that. Antonio Daniels, former Spur, champion with the Spurs. He's going to join us next here on The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The San Antonio Gunslingers. Saturday. They're not at home this week. They don't play until June 13th at home at 4 o'clock in Freeman Coliseum against the New Mexico Chupacabras. Get your tickets, sagunslingers.com from a week from Saturday. But if you're looking for something to do with the kiddos, tomorrow morning, the 6 shooters, the cheerleaders for the Gunslingers, they're hosting a kids camp and teen clinic, 9 to 1 tomorrow, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. All kinds of activities, dance, games, crafts, confidence building, performance training. It's a great experience. Everybody's going to get a custom camp shirt, pom-poms, and 2 tickets to that June 13th game. So get your tickets for that game. If you got kiddos and you're trying to figure out what to do with them tomorrow morning, get them into that camp. Get all the registration and information at sagunslingers.com. That's sagunslingers.com.
Are running wild through the house? There's finally a better way to work and parent. Introducing Co-Play Cove, San Antonio's first co-working plus childcare experience designed for modern families. Grab coffee, answer emails, take meetings, or just breathe for a minute while your child safely learns and plays nearby. Learn more now at Co-Play Cove and visit the events page today for upcoming Father's Day activities.
Need a reason to call Thomas J. Henry Law after a car accident? How about $1 billion? Because Thomas J. Henry Law fights even when the insurance company says your claim is worth nothing. Thomas J. Henry doesn't back down. That's how we put over $1 billion in our clients' pockets in just the last 4 years, and why we're one of the largest personal injury law firms in Texas. Car accident? Visit thomasjhenrylaw.com. Thomas J. Henry, the name you know, the firm you trust. Principal Office, San Antonio.
Drivers who switch their home and auto with Progressive could save money and time. Other things try to do this, but they really don't. Like the touchscreen at fast food places. It's not like you save time because it takes you longer to use a touchscreen than, I don't know, someone who works there. And another thing, you'd think it would save money because they're not paying a cashier, right? But no, same price. Also, why is there an option to tip? Who am I tipping? Exactly. Anyway, even if you can't save money and time with some things, you could with a Progressive Home and Auto Bundle. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers, not available in all states or situations.
You could win unmatched views of the match during the Twin Peaks Go for the Gold giveaway presented by Michelob Ultra and Casamigos. Visit TwinPeaksSoccer.com to enter for your chance to win by June 14th. Twin Peaks, eats, drinks, scenic views.
San Antonio and New York. This is where you come to talk about the finals. 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is a game day here on the Blitz. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagle. He is Jason Minix, and oh my goodness, big game tonight, no question.
That is an understatement. Let's talk about it. On the Buyers Barricades at Gas Line, a man that's won a ring with the Spurs, now doing great work on NBA radio on Sirius XM. Used to be a teammate here on San Antonio Sports Star. Antonio Daniels, how you doing, my friend?
I'm good, man. You know, I don't like that every time that I come on and y'all introduce me, y'all never bring up the fact that I'm also the color analyst for the New Orleans Pelicans. Is that personal?
No, is that a team or what?
We'll get to that. I mean, you know, your intro was so long that, you know, on the resets we'll get to the color analyst of the New Orleans Pelicans, but he makes his home in San Antonio.
There you go. Yep, there you go. Ain't that the truth?
Ain't that the truth? Well, I want to start, AD. I mean, obviously, tonight is a big game. I want to go back on a very personal level. Game one, I saw you post on social media in the suite with Greg Popovich and a lot of your other former teammates. How was Pop doing, and did you get a chance to visit with Greg Popovich?
I did get a chance. And the thing is, that's not the first time I've actually sat up there with Pop. I've sat up there with him in the Oklahoma City series as well, but he's doing well. He's doing good. You know, still talking basketball. I even asked him during this last game when we were sitting there, and I asked him. I said, "Do you miss it?" And he said, you have no idea how much.
Oh wow!
I wish I was down there so bad right now. You know what I mean? So it's like that part of you, you know, that competitive nature piece. It just doesn't. It doesn't go. It just doesn't go.
You know,
he's doing well, though.
That's
he's
good.
Doing well.
Glad to hear that. I'm glad he's participating a little bit, and that Mitch Johnson feels comfortable enough to have him in there and talk to the guys, and I think that's made a difference in especially that Oklahoma City series with the fellas. I've got to ask you though, when you get around Pop and some of the other guys that you played with here in San Antonio, I mean, just how special is that, and why is there such a huge bond between all of you guys?
Yeah, I don't know. And you know, I got asked this question on another platform a couple days ago. And honestly, Joe, I can't answer that question because I think about, like, in my 13-year career, the different teams that I played on, the different guys that I played with. There's not a team that I played on, and it's more than just the fact that this is home for me. Because there are guys that I still talk to weekly, bi-weekly, that don't live in San Antonio, but were my teammates. There's not a team that I played on that I keep in close contact with them the way I do with my Spurs team when I was here. Malik doesn't live here. Me and Malik went to breakfast yesterday. Yesterday, as a matter of fact. You know, Avery doesn't live here. Every time I go to Dallas, with the New Orleans Pelicans, me and Avery go to lunch or breakfast or dinner. Like, it's other guys that live outside of San Antonio. Obviously, with Tim and David and Sean and guys that are still here, I keep in close contact with those guys. But I don't know. Maybe it's a culture thing. That's just something that the San Antonio Spurs organization, they breed. Because here's the thing, fellas. I think about it like this. I was traded from San Antonio in 2002. Think about that. That's 24 years ago. 24 years ago, the last time I played in a San Antonio Spurs uniform. But yet, when I go to games, when I'm around, they still treat me as if I'm a San Antonio Spur. They still treat my family as if we are San Antonio Spurs. And I think that is a direct reflection, whether it's Greg Popovich, R.C. Buford, Tom James, TJ, anybody. Just the amount of appreciation that I have still for this organization decades later. Like, it's so awesome. I couldn't be more happy for this organization, and in particular, those guys.
Absolutely. New Orleans Pelicans broadcaster Antonio Daniels here on the Blitz on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. I know when all you guys are together, and you do this for a living, whether it's with the Pelicans or Sirius XM, you're breaking down all the games and what needs to happen. And I know it's going to be the same when you're just around all your teammates because everybody's a basketball junkie. What do the Spurs have to do tonight to get this series even at 1?
And I'll be honest. This game to me, Game 1 to me felt very similar to Game 1 against the Minnesota Timberwolves. And, after a Game 1, there's always an overreaction, one way or another. There's always an overreaction. Everybody becomes a coach. What Mitch Johnson should have done, what he should have done, what Wemby should have done. Everybody becomes a coach. And I remember after the Minnesota Game 1, we were actually in attendance for that game, and I remember walking out and talking to my wife about it because Minnesota stole Game 1 in San Antonio. And what you hope at that time is the coach doesn't overreact. Like that's one of the things that you never really – there's a difference between making adjustments and overreacting. What Mitch Johnson didn't do after Game 1 against Minnesota is he didn't overreact. What Mark Daigneault didn't do after Game 1 when San Antonio stole one in Oklahoma City, he didn't overreact. So what everybody expects now, and everybody wants from Mitch Johnson is a huge overreaction. And sometimes, and I know this sounds simplistic, sometimes it's simply about guys playing better. That's all. It's not about, well, you got to start Dylan Harper and you got to bring – it's not even about that sometimes. Sometimes it's about the fact that De'Aaron Fox needs to play better, Victor Wembanyama needs to be more efficient, and guys need to get back to who they are. And now once you get that, if you still lose games, now you can talk about not even pressing the panic button, but now you can talk about more major adjustments that needs to happen. Because here's the thing about the Game 1. If you look at this from a San Antonio Spurs perspective, tell me who in Game 1 played well outside of Dylan Harper.
Crickets.
Yeah, nobody.
That's what I mean. That's exactly like if you can tell me, man, Stephon Castle balled out, and Victor Wembanyama balled out, and Keldon Johnson played well off the bench. Harrison Barnes, that's not the case. So sometimes it simply comes down to guys playing better than they did from Game 1 to Game 2. Not about a huge coach adjustment that has to happen.
Well, Antonio, that brings up a good question then, and obviously guys have bad nights. I mean, we see it all the time. You watch an NBA season, guys have good nights, they have bad nights. But when that many guys don't play well, is there something we should read into that, or is it one of those nights that all of those guys just played poorly on the same night?
Is there something you should read into? Like, it happens. I will say this, though. This is the one takeaway that I did have. Being there, and it was about 5 minutes into the game, I saw Wemby bending over and grabbing his shorts. And, listen, maybe today that's not an issue. But I do know this. I don't care how good and talented Victor Wembanyama is. And I've gone before, and I think he has the potential to be the greatest player to ever touch a basketball. I have no problem saying that. But he's still human. You know when you watch a boxing match and in the first 3 or 4 rounds where there's a boxer in particular that is focused on the body, and then by the time you get to rounds 10 and 11 and 12, the championship rounds, those body blows that he took in round 1, 2, and 3 start to take hold? I'm wondering if the physicality in the Minnesota series and you add the 51 minutes and going to Game 7 in the Oklahoma series, along with the physicality in the Oklahoma series from Isaiah Hartenstein and Alex Caruso and those guys bumping and throwing Wemby around, I wonder now, in the NBA Finals, Victor Wembanyama is facing the most physical front line in the NBA with Karl Anthony Towns, Mitchell Robinson, Josh Hart, OG Anunoby. I wonder what kind of physical toll that will take on him.
You know, Antonio, as you say that, and people that have called in or this show or commented on our YouTube page, he's young, how's he tired? And I just don't understand. I guess they don't understand the rigors of an NBA schedule, right?
Yeah, you know why he's tired? You know why he's tired? Because there's not a player that's playing in this playoffs, still remaining, that has that responsibility on him. There isn't. There's not one. Jalen Brunson's really good. Jalen Brunson is really good. But you know what? Jalen Brunson doesn't have to cover up every defensive mistake. He doesn't have to be as impactful on the defensive side of the ball as he does on the offensive side of the ball. Jalen Brunson is also playing with another all-star in Karl Anthony Towns. The amount of responsibility on Victor Wembanyama's shoulders, regardless of age, like, we can't say things like, well, he's only 22 years old. How can he be tired? Go back and look at that Oklahoma City series where he played 51 minutes in game one. Every time Victor Wembanyama comes off the floor, and this is no disrespect to Luke Cornett, when Victor Wembanyama comes off the floor, it's a mental trigger in the opposing team that says, okay, the gates are open, let's go. That's why Mitch Johnson can't afford to sit him. And I tell you this, fellas, I feel like guys don't know what they don't know. And what I mean by that is this. If you remember when the Dallas Mavericks made it to the NBA Finals and lost, one of the things that Luka said at the time is he didn't realize the condition that he needed to be in to make a run all the way to the NBA Finals. And he had been to the playoffs before. He had been to the play-in before. So he had been through some of these steps before. Victor Wembanyama has never played in the postseason. This is only year 3 from him. So guys don't know what they don't know. And more than anything, regardless as to what happens, one, this is the worst Victor Wembanyama and the San Antonio Spurs will be for the next decade. They're not going to Benjamin Button this and head in the other direction. It's not happening. You know what I mean? These guys will continue to get better. And two, regardless as to what happens, these are great reps and learning opportunities for Victor Wembanyama, Stephon Castle, Dylan Harper, and these young San Antonio Spurs.
Yeah, I don't think there's a better education they could have gotten than what they're getting right now, regardless of how this series turns out. I've got to ask you, as a point guard, Antonio, when you look at De'Aaron Fox, and obviously he's getting a lot of criticism. He didn't have a good game, obviously, in game one. Do you think he's still hurt? Is that still a crutch that we can lean on, or was it just a bad game?
No. Two things can be true at the same time. Two things can be true at the same time. I know 100%. I can tell you this 100%. He's not healthy. He's not. I will 100% tell you that. But on the other side, I will also tell you that he has to play better. And he'll tell you the same thing. Because if you're going to go out there and you're going to put yourself out there, which I respect. I love De'Aaron Fox. I love him as a person, as a player. I love his family. If you're going to go out there, like, you have to perform. And here's the thing. De'Aaron Fox, like, everybody, and God, this is such a hard conversation to have. Because as you guys know, covering football, doesn't everybody always love the backup quarterback?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Everybody loves the backup quarterback. Don't let the starting quarterback have a bad game. Now, everybody's saying, oh, you know what, backup quarterback. I love Dylan Harper. I think Dylan Harper is an all-star, a superstar in the waiting. He reminds me of James Harden in Oklahoma City when he was playing with Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant. Like, he's that good this early. But here's the thing. These guys can play together. It doesn't have to be one or the other. And Joe, you just talked about the amount of criticism that De'Aaron Fox gets. De'Aaron Fox can't afford to play a bad game. Other guys can afford to play a bad game. It cannot be De'Aaron Fox with people coming down on him. And like, and I heard this after game one against the Minnesota Timberwolves when he played poorly then. And I said this at that time. De'Aaron Fox and Victor Wembanyama, who struggled in game one versus Minnesota as well at home, they have to play better. And they did play better. And it's so funny in this league how quickly people forget. Because De'Aaron Fox balled out in game 7 against Oklahoma City. Played his tail off. But again, this is a what have you done for me lately league.
Yep.
De'Aaron Fox has to play better. Victor Wembanyama has to play better. Stephon Castle has to play better. And being at home tonight for Game 2, I would have the confidence in the fact that they would do just that.
Well, that's it. Antonio Daniels here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars. This time of year, you're as good as your last game. I know with what you just said, are you expecting when this series shifts to New York for Game 3 to be tied 1-1?
I am. I definitely am. I actually, I'm surprised New York got Game 1. I thought if they would get one of the two, it would be Game 2. But here's the thing, man. I think when you look at the Eastern Conference, I know Spurs fans in particular that I've had, and I've had many conversations with Spurs fans since Game 1. Actually, during Game 1, after Game 1. They didn't pay much attention to the Eastern Conference. So when the New York Knicks were running through the Atlanta Hawks and the Philadelphia 76ers and Joel Embiid, and then Donovan Mitchell and James Harden and the Cleveland Cavaliers, they weren't really paying attention to them. Because let's be honest, the Eastern Conference is not as sexy as the Western Conference. It's not. So a lot of people weren't paying as much attention to the East. But I tell you what, if you were paying attention to the Eastern Conference, you saw how good this New York Knicks basketball team is. From Game 3 of the first round against the Atlanta Hawks, they've now reeled off 12 games in a row, all by double figures. They have the best offensive rating in the playoffs in history. In history. So when people look at me and I'm walking throughout the city and people are like, man, what do you think happened to our Spurs in Game 1? Like, no, I'm going to tell you what happened. What happened is you guys are playing a really good basketball team with the best closer in the NBA. There's not a person in the league when there's 3 minutes or less and I need a basket that I would rather have the ball in their hands than number 11 for the New York Knicks, Jalen Brunson.
Well, the guy was spectacular in Game 1. I mean, obviously, it was just it's so pretty to see a player just take over for a team like he did and put him on his back and play the way that he did. I mean, he's unstoppable when he does that. Let me ask you this, Antonio, because I've heard this a lot. When you look at the New York Knicks and the Spurs head-to-head, it looks like a bad matchup for the Spurs. Am I way off on that, or is there anything to that?
I don't know. I tell you, the thing that the Knicks bring to the table is something that the Portland Trailblazers didn't bring. It's something that the Minnesota Timberwolves didn't bring, and it's also something that the Oklahoma City didn't bring. And that's the fact that they have somebody that Wemby has to go out there and guard. They don't have someone on their roster that you can hide Wemby on and keep him playing a free safety role, kind of being around the rim. If you go back and you look at Portland, he could guard Donovan Glingen. Just kind of hang out around the rim. You can go back and look at Minnesota where he can guard Julius Randle and Rudy Gobert and Terrence Shannon Jr., where he can hang out around the rim and dare those guys to shoot. And then you look at Oklahoma City with Isaiah Hartenstein and some of those other guys where he can hang around the rim. You look at this New York Knicks roster, and you saw this in Game 1. Wemby has to guard someone. And what I mean by that is the moment that Wemby goes out and he's guarding Karl-Anthony Towns, who is probably the best shooting big man in the league, now that leaves the rest of the team to play 4-on-4. Good luck. Good luck. So the Knicks, they bring a different roster construction to the table that the San Antonio Spurs have yet. I am so interested in Game 2 and now moving forward because my eyes aren't on players. My eyes are on the matchups and the adjustments that Coach Mitch Johnson makes. Because remember, as much as we talk about this stuff, he hasn't coached in the NBA Finals either. He is a very, very young coach as far as experience is concerned with being that head guy.
Very true. Antonio Daniels, Spurs legend, still part of the family, New Orleans Pelicans broadcaster, but a San Antonio guy through and through. AD, I can't believe this is year 25 for your basketball camp.
Oh, my God. Yeah, it is.
So 25. I mean, you started this thing when you were 9, and we all understand that.
And you know the crazy thing is, I remember there was a point about 9 years ago, maybe 10 years ago, we were 15, 16 years in. I told my wife, at the time. I said, I think this is my last year doing camp. And she said, no, it can't be. It can't be. So then we had a son. And I said, you know what? Now I am going to have this camp to the point where at least my son can participate. Our son, AJ, turned 8 years old yesterday. He's gone to camp the last 2 years. This is something like, when I tell you guys, as you guys know already, this is something that I generally, with all my heart and soul, it makes my summer. It makes my summer. You guys have a producer there. His name is Edwin, and he called me today about, just to get on the show with you guys, and Edwin came to camp.
Yep.
Edwin used to come to my basketball camp. So it is something, as you guys know, that me and my family take the ultimate amount of pride in. I tell parents all the time, this is the best camp your child will ever attend because they will leave out of this camp with more knowledge about life, not just how to dribble a basketball.
Well, what I love about it, AD, is you're there every day. I mean, so the kids are going to get to say hello to you, talk to you, shake your hand. I mean, you are there in person every single day.
Yeah, it's not one of those camps where I just put my name on it and I show up one day and I sign autographs and I leave. I will open every camp with prayer, close every camp with prayer, teach, instruct, run up and down with them. Everything that I would have wanted if I was a child and I was in a camp that was taught by an ex-NBA player, I'm going to try and be as a teacher because I feel like life is about paying it forward. It is. And for parents that don't have the information, you can go to danielsfamilyfoundation.com. It's ages 6 to 17. If you have a young one that is trying to learn the game of basketball, you have someone that's more advanced with the game of basketball. We don't turn anybody away. If your child can't afford to come or you can't afford to send your child, we do give scholarships. This is a camp that I want every child, if they have an opportunity to be a part of, to be a part of. We feed the kids at camp. Every kid at camp gets a T-shirt. It's as you guys know, it's something I'm passionate about. It's something that we love doing and something I hope to continue to do as long as God will let me.
The 25th annual Antonio Daniels basketball camp, July 27th through the 30th. It's going to be over at Cornerstone. Again, more details, danielsfamilyfoundation.com. Antonio Daniels, enjoy the game tonight. Go Spurs, go.
Amen. Appreciate it, fellas.
Thank you, AD.
Thanks, Jason. Appreciate you guys.
Appreciate you. Antonio Daniels on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond online at buyersbarricades.com.
A lot of great stuff from Antonio Daniels, just the inside stuff that you might or may not think about, and he puts it all in perspective, and that's really slanted one way or the other. He's going to tell you how it is and what it's going to be, and he's right when he says the Knicks are different animal than anything the Spurs have played in the playoffs thus far, and they are. They're constructed different, and to me, it's a bad matchup when it comes to the San Antonio Spurs. So we'll talk a lot more Spurs basketball. We want to get your thoughts on what you heard from Antonio Daniels. A lot of ways to do that. Call us, 656-3776, 656-ESPN. This is The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Let me tell you, though, about Stevens Roofing. Love Stevens Roofing. You know that. They're a great family. Love being around them. You'll love being around them. They just treat you right. That's what they do. And, well, you don't have to even take my word for it. They've been in business since 1983. I mean, my goodness. You don't stay in business in anything for that long if you're not doing it right and treating people right. And that's exactly what Stevens Roofing and Solar does. 210-785-0994. All this rain, man. I cannot remember a spring and summer where we've had this much rain. At least it doesn't seem like it. But and they've been these thunderstorms. Look, if you think your roof, that there's something wrong with it, or you just think it's time for a checkup, call Stevens Roofing and Solar. They're going to send a team out to your house. They'll inspect your roof. They'll do it for free, and they'll let you know how things look up there and if anything needs to be taken care of. And the beauty of that is, it's just like getting a doctor's office visit. If you find something small, you can take care of it before it turns into something big. That's what they do. Stevens Roofing and Solar, 210-785-0994, or you can visit them online at stevensroofing.net.
You're listening to The Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6, KTFM Floresville, and everywhere at sasportstar.com.
Healthy vision is about more than seeing clearly. It's about going beyond. From comprehensive eye care with the latest technology to advanced vision solutions that provide deep insights into your overall health. And with doctors who build lasting relationships founded on trust, ensuring that every detail is taken care of. I choose Vision Source to never miss out on life's precious moments. Vision Source, beyond your eyes.
The largest gun show in San Antonio is at the Shriner Auditorium this weekend. Texas Gun Shows is open today, 4 to 7 p.m., 10 a.m. to 5 Saturday, and then 10 a.m. to 4 Sunday. Texas Gun Shows is at the Shriner Auditorium on 1604 today through Sunday.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text BAIL to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Big color, bigger savings. Sherwin-Williams Super Sale is here. Get 40% off paints and stains June 5th through the 11th with prices starting at $30.89. Whether you're refreshing your interior or exterior, we've got the colors to bring your vision to life. And with delivery, getting everything to your door is easier than ever. Shop online to have it delivered or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details. Delivery available on qualifying orders.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
We got a big game tonight in San Antonio. The Spurs look to even up the finals at one game apiece. Tip-off from the Frost Bank Center is set for 7:42. Cowboys wide receiver George Pickens did not attend Cowboys voluntary OTAs this week. When asked about Pickens showing up for mandatory minicamp later this month, Cowboys head coach Brian Schottenheimer said he expects Pickens to be there.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
From the studios of San Antonio's Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to The Blitz. 2 decades on the radio, Jason Minix. 2 decades on TV, Joe Reinagel. 2 San Antonio sports voices you've trusted for years. This is The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
On a game day Friday here in San Antonio, game 2 in the NBA Finals tonight inside the Frost Bank Center. Spurs looking to even this series up at a game apiece before they head back to Madison Square Garden in the Big Apple. I'm Joe Reinagel. He is Jason Minix, and, well, the nerves will get there, I think, the closer we get. We got about, 4.5 hours until tip-off or so. As we get a little closer, Jason, I think the anxiousness will begin to set in.
You know, I think for me, I think it's already there. I was ready to go to the arena at lunch, watching TV and seeing all the people that apparently didn't go to work today so they could find themselves in the background of the NBA Today set. And as hot as it is in our studio, you see some of those people in full costume. You know, they got to be sweaty as well.
Oh, they got to be. Dude. And when they take that off, man, I hope there's a shower around.
Stop.
They're going to be stinking.
Oh, stop.
They are. You know they are.
Of course they are.
Well,
they're not going to.
Just don't go anywhere else when you take that thing off and make everybody else smell
straight to the arena.
Jeez.
I mean, what do you think? They're going to take it off in public?
Well,
they're going to go home, and just their family gets to enjoy that, if that.
That's fine. If you do that, sit behind the Knicks bench. All right? If you're all stinky like that after wearing one of those animal costumes, that's got to be somebody from the zoo.
You know, the zoo has so much going on, a little back and forth with Kendrick Perkins. And, you know, Tim Morrow at the zoo does such a good job. In fact, he did say that the blind salamanders that they have available to step in for Tony Brothers if needed tonight. since Tony Brothers is the lead official for tonight's game, too.
That's bugging the hell out of Spurs fans
Well, of
tonight.
course it is.
But you know what? Since the Spurs are if the Spurs were up 1-0, I would feel bad about Tony Brothers. The fact that they're down, I think that might favor the Spurs with Tony Brothers. Who knows? Yeah, you want to get this thing. You don't want to sweep. You don't want a 5-game series.
I do.
Well, you do.
I want a 5-game series. I pick Spurs in 5, and that can still happen.
Well, you're just a selfish SOB. So, I mean, the rest of us want to see a good series.
I think 5 and the Spurs winning would be a good series.
Well, I want to see
I think that'd be a great series.
I'd like to see a 7-game series.
I think more people would agree with me that they want to see the Spurs win in 5 than you see a 7-game series. That added stress is unnecessary.
You know, I was trying to figure out. Now, I probably should know the answer to this, as many of these things as I've covered. If we ever had a Game 7 in San Antonio?
Detroit, dude, 2005.
Was that here?
Yeah.
All right.
Dude, the goosebumps,
Wow.
all of it. This is the loudest I ever heard the then SBC Center.
Wow. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That was a long time ago.
It was 2005.
Yeah, long time ago.
I mean,
21 years?
I mean, you think about it. Antonio Daniels Camp was just a baby at the time.
Yes, it was. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine a Game 7 inside the Frostbank Center? The excitement of that?
The stress?
The thrill
The
of
stress?
That? Oh, my gosh.
Uh-huh.
That would be fantastic to see that. So, yeah, I want to see the Spurs tie this thing up tonight.
It would be fantastic. I still would rather see the Spurs in 5.
Minix, the excitement. Were you excited? Game 7, Oklahoma City?
I was excited and a nervous wreck.
That's what it is all about.
Game 7s are great when your team is not involved. I've come to that conclusion. I love a good Game 7 unless my team is in it. The stress level is, well...
Yes.
more than most of us would like to experience.
That's what makes it happen. Your heart beats. You get excited. You're drinking beer. You're eating wings.
You know,
I mean,
the
it's
good
just
news
the
is
excitement of that.
is no matter what happens on that day, my heart's still going to beat. I'm still going to be drinking beer, likely having some sort of wings, without the added stress of a seventh game. In fact, the day of the 7th game would probably be another day of celebration in San Antonio after the boys wrap this thing up in 5. And you're still going to have a beating heart, hopefully, and drinking beer and eating wings while celebrating your new T-shirt and hat.
So what you're saying is the parade would probably be in place of that Game 7.
I think I'd be good with that.
You'd be all right with that?
I think I would be.
Well, I got news for you, Minix. The chances of this thing ending in 5 games are slim and none. And Slim just left town. You know what I mean?
Dude, you can't say that until tomorrow, depending on what happens tonight. My Spurs in 5 prediction is still very much in play. I realize the odds are against it, but it is a possibility. More Spurs talk coming up. Right now, let's do the Headline Blitz.
This is Jason and Joe's Headline Blitz. Brought to you by Novu Brazil Brewery in North Star Mall. 2 guys, 2 opinions, never enough time.
Well, as the series shifts next week to New York, Madison Square Garden, and you think about that historic building and the events that it has held, and what they're saying it's going to be like, no matter what, for Game 3 with this Knicks team. And imagine if they're up 2-0, even 1-1. The Garden is going to be incredible. But you know what else apparently could be happening in the Garden soon?
What's that?
The Taylor Swift-Travis Kelce wedding.
I saw that. You sent that story.
Well, TMZ, and I say TMZ broke the story. In a way, the New York Police Department commissioner might have actually let the cat out of the bag when she mentioned a potential Taylor Swift wedding as an event that might need big-time security presence in July. Then she said she was only kidding, but TMZ sources say they are planning a wedding July 3rd in the middle of Manhattan. Now, it could be the Garden, could be Central Park or Rockefeller Center, even Radio City Music Hall or the New York City Public Library. There's a lot of historic venues that Taylor and Travis could do this at.
Why the hell would you want to have your wedding in a library?
Apparently you've never been to the New York City
Library. I don't
Library.
give a damn whether I've been there. You're right, I haven't, but still. Where'd you get married? The library. Oh, my gosh.
Google the library.
I don't care what it looks like. It'd be the most immaculate place on the planet. doesn't matter. I'm not telling somebody I got married in a damn library. I don't care what library
Not
it
all
is.
libraries are created equal.
Goodness.
You want to say you got married at the Garden?
The Garden would be all right.
Radio City?
Sure. As long as the legs are there. What's the name of the
Rockettes?
The Rockettes?
The legs.
Well, what else? That's what they're famous for, right? So Edwin has just put up pictures of the. Is that the library,
Yes.
Edwin?
Yeah.
That's a beautiful place.
Yes.
A lot of books. Probably a librarian going to tell you to shh.
Not when they rent it out for venues like that.
Dude, that's beautiful.
I know
That's
you.
awesome.
I know you are anti-library.
I'm
obviously.
anti-reading, period.
And you know, books are more than just something that needs to be on a shelf. But I don't think anybody's going to read. They just want that kind of setting. I mean, look at that.
That's gorgeous.
Uh-huh.
I'm not getting married in a library. What the hell? What's the matter with them? You think Travis Kelce with Taylor Swift, we're getting married in a library? What?
Oh, he's like, yes, dear.
Probably.
Yes,
that's
dear.
what I would do.
Yeah.
But
I mean, whatever you want.
Yeah.
I mean, if Maggie wanted to get married at the library, I know you would have said, all right.
I said, what?
Do I have to read? You would have said, well, is it cheaper?
Dude, there's nothing cheap about that place.
Well,
I can tell you that right now.
No, but I mean, it's the library we go vote in here by the Tobin Library over there on Harry Wurzbach.
Yeah.
It ain't the same.
No. Yeah, get married in a damn library. Shh.
I'm impressed that they're picking a place like New York City.
Well, we'll see
Not
if they
some
do.
secluded.
I mean, she's a billionaire. They can have their wedding wherever the hell they want it.
True.
So why would you go to a library?
Because that's what they want.
It's not what they. It's not what they want.
It's a potential spot in the middle of Manhattan that would seemingly hit all the qualifications for the Taylor Swift wedding on July 3rd, and some guy Travis that's going to be there.
Yep.
I mean, it is a possibility. It could happen.
We're squashing that.
What do you mean?
All
we're
of us
squashing?
Swifties are saying no.
So now you're a Swiftie.
I've always been a Swiftie. What are you talking about?
You know, you and Kevin Durant have something in common.
We do?
That you didn't know about.
I don't have a burner phone, I promise you.
No, but you both have spent time in the bushes over there at Nobu in Malibu. Now, you didn't know you were there, and apparently Kevin Durant was hiding in the bushes trying to avoid the paparazzi.
Uh-huh. Well, how does Kevin Durant hide anywhere?
Well, he didn't. The paparazzi caught him on a date with an unidentified woman.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, I wonder why he wouldn't want to be identified with said woman.
Privacy?
I guess. Dude, you're Kevin Durant. What the hell?
I mean,
I get it. I understand privacy, and, you know, guys like you and me, we get all the privacy we need. But if you've chosen that life, there are certain things that you're just going to have to deal with.
Yep.
And that's one for Kevin Durant. So I was never in the bushes. I got carried out of Novo, but Novu. What the hell's the name of it?
Nobu.
Yeah, Nobu.
Although you've
Jerry's
probably
party.
been carrying out a Novo Brazilian brewery as well.
No, not yet. I
not
have
yet.
not.
Yeah, but
there's
still time.
Certainly there is that possibility.
No, but when we were setting you on the bench, you know, the bushes were right there, and you might have tumbled a little bit, and they held you up, and then you made it to the bench, and took some incredible photos that will never see the light of day.
I told you were number one.
Yes. Yes. The greatest part of that story.
Jerry throws a hell of a party.
Michael Irvin. Hey, man, come get your boy. Then me and Mike are Carrie and Joe. Until we got to a certain point, he was like, I can't be photographed like this.
No,
he pulled a Kevin Durant. And I had to take you the rest of the way, and I realized, dude, you're heavy.
Yeah.
For a guy that goes to the gym. And I was in no position really to be carrying anybody either.
Dude, who is at Jerry's party?
Nobody.
Yeah.
Nobody. Great times. Speaking
times.
of the Cowboys, Pickens not at the voluntary workout. No surprise, right? Shoddy was asked about that.
No, he has not. As you guys know, it's voluntary. Communicate with GP yesterday. He's got a football camp this weekend that he's doing. So communication's been good, and as you guys know, it's voluntary, and he's taking care of his business.
of those conversations? Is it giving you an indication that he'll be here when it's the mandatory session?
No, we haven't discussed that, but I expect he'll be here, and I think he's in a good spot. But again, I know he's handling his business, and I know he misses his teammates. And so we miss him too. You guys know how we feel about him. We love him, and this is just part of the business.
And if you're Shoddy, you're saying all the right things, and Shoddy can say that. I'm sure the team, they love him. Shoddy loves him. It's just that Jerry and Steven don't love him enough to give him a long-term deal just yet.
Well, and I don't know that they will. You've seen some of the other receivers in this last week that have signed deals. They're now making more than GP will. And while they're all saying the right thing, and he is getting 27 and change, no player likes the tag. Now, he signed it, so if he doesn't show up to the mandatory, they can fine him. He didn't have to sign it when he did. So you take that as a good sign that he's going to be there and be a good soldier. A.J. Brown, not a good soldier in Philadelphia. And now that he's with the Patriots, he admitted last year all the leaks were A.J. Brown.
It was done purposely to give us a push. I know if I say something in the media, I know it's going to propel us to work on it. If you say what you need to say in the media, which I won't do that anymore, it gives everything legs and legs to push and to push everybody to be better. Because pressure isn't always a bad thing. It can also be a good thing too. Honestly, I feel like it was okay to do because we had guys in the locker room who are men.
So you can leak that stuff out. That's good, and that's going to give them a push that they need.
Yep.
Yeah, that was not good. So good luck, Mike Vrabel and the New England Patriots when it comes to A.J. Brown. Although he may be a model citizen, he likes Vrabel. They get along well. We'll see. But that's kind of chicken bleep.
Yep.
I mean, it really is.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what else is?
What's that?
Bears are going to move to Indiana.
I don't think. Well, I mean, it's really no different than the Cowboys playing in Arlington or wherever the hell they're at.
Arlington.
Or I don't know, the Jets and the Giants playing in New Jersey. That's I don't know. It's not a big deal. It's what I've heard and read since this happened. Real estate's cheaper in Indiana, so the stadium is going to be a lot nicer apparently than it would have been in Chicago.
Sure.
And we'll see. Still going to be called the Chicago Bears, so really nothing changes.
True.
Does it?
Yep.
All right. You ready to talk about the NBA Finals, Minix?
Sure.
Yeah, let's do that. NBA Finals, because I think there's a big game inside the Frost Bank Center tonight. In fact, I'll check the schedule. But, yeah, there is. Game 2, NBA Finals, Spurs, Knicks. Getting nervous now. Are you getting nervous? Let us know. You can go to our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page. You can like, subscribe, and comment there. You can give us a call, 656-3776, 656-ESPN. This is The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The Morning Huddle.
So I haven't had Red Diamond in over 2 weeks.
Oh, my.
So
what are you supplementing with?
I've got some Bai coconut waters that I'm kind of BAI.
Yeah, no, it's coconut water that
other people
that does sex with guys and
see
girls.
Other people.
See,
but
it's Bai. It's coconut water that
I don't know
slept
why
with a pineapple.
I don't know why I didn't hear that before I said it. I really didn't. And the funny thing is, I've been talking about my Bai coconut water to a lot of people over the last 3 days. And it didn't strike me what that sounded like until right now.
Yeah. The Morning Huddle with AJ and Rob. Weekday mornings 6 to 10. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The Headline Blitz is brought to you by Novo Brewery, San Antonio's newest sports watching destination with over 80 feet of video walls, 60 craft beers, and hard kombucha on tap. A full bar and delicious menu. Novo Brewery is attached to North Star Mall and open late hours.
When snack time calls, Pork Rinds answers. Be your own crunch time hero with Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds. Skip the chip and go straight for the ultimate crunch that's low carb, high protein, and loaded with bold flavor. We're talking sweet barbecue or hot honey. Yeah, it's that good. Snack smarter, crunch harder. Stock up on Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds at H-E-B or head to porkrinds.com. Make Southern Recipe your crunch time hero.
Big color, bigger savings. Sherwin-Williams Super Sale is here. Get 40% off paints and stains June 5th through the 11th with prices starting at $30.89. Whether you're refreshing your interior or exterior, we've got the colors to bring your vision to life. And with delivery, getting everything to your door is easier than ever. Shop online to have it delivered or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details. Delivery available on qualifying orders.
Warmer weather is finally here, and that means cookouts,
ball games,
and maybe enjoying some time on the water.
But it also means lots of heavy foods, sweets, and maybe an extra adult beverage or two. Thank goodness we both take Active Liver from New Nordic. Did you know your liver works around the clock processing food, sugar, alcohol, and everyday toxins? All the things that can really impact your health.
That's why daily support matters. Active Liver is designed to protect normal liver function and support your body's natural detox process.
With trusted natural ingredients like milk thistle, turmeric, and artichoke extract, it's gentle enough to take all year long.
No harsh cleanses, no extreme detoxes, just simple daily liver support. We really feel the difference.
Active Liver helps us enjoy the good things in life with peace of mind that our liver isn't working overtime. Active Liver is available online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com, and you can find it in stores at CVS, Meijer Grocery, Wegmans, and now Active Liver is available at your local GNC.
Hi everybody, Joe Reinigle here for Window Nation. You know, it is June, summer is here along with those hot summer days, and that means constant AC use and high energy bills. It is time to upgrade your home's windows this month during Window Nation's Buy 4, Get 4 free sale. Imagine replacing all your windows with new energy efficient ones and getting half of them for free. Plus, you could even get them with no money down and no monthly payment or interest for 2 years. Don't wait to put an end to your window problems. Sale ends soon, so visit windownation.com to book that consultation.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
San Antonio's playoff headquarters has arrived. Novo Brewery features 80 feet of video walls, craft beers, hard kombucha on tap, and the food menu that means business. Thick-cut ribeye, picanha prime sirloin, Brazilian empanadas, stacked burgers, carne asada fries, and more. And with its own private entrance separate from North Star Mall, no hassle, just you, your crew, and the biggest screens in the city at Novo Brewery. Open late. Visit novobrew.com. Novo Brewery. Come hungry. Stay for the game.
You could win unmatched views of the match during the Twin Peaks Go for the Gold giveaway presented by Michelob Ultra and Casamigos. Visit TwinPeaksSoccer.com to enter for your chance to win by June 14th. Twin Peaks, eats, drinks, scenic views.
The Spurs and the Knicks. This is where you come to talk about the finals. 94.1 San Antonio Sports.
Yeah. Spurs, Knicks, Game 2, NBA Finals tonight. Spurs, well, certainly not a must-win. It's a game they'd like to have before they go to the Madison Square Garden. I don't want to hear must-win games, Jason, because I heard that in the Oklahoma City series. Game 5's a must-win game, Joe. Must win. And the Spurs lost. Guess what happened? They won the series.
But their percentages of winning the series go completely down.
Dude, that's
right.
That's,
no, and it's true. They overcame the odds.
Okay.
And did something that was unexpected. Had they won that game, their chances of winning the series go up.
Well, couldn't the same thing happen if they happen to falter tonight and lose? They still have that. The Knicks will only have 2 wins, not 4.
True, but by definition, not a must-win.
No.
But in a lot of ways,
it's a game they would like to win.
Well, I mean, let me ask you this, though. If they don't win tonight, do you think the Spurs still win this series?
I think it's certainly possible.
That's not what I asked. Yes or no? I mean, if they lose tonight and they're down 0-2, do you think they win the series?
I just recall a series between the San Antonio Spurs and the Houston Rockets way back in the day. Both teams won 2 games on the other's home floor.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the Rockets ended up winning that series.
Mm-hmm.
They shouldn't have, but they did.
They did.
So it's possible. Now, obviously, the odds are against them if that happens, but it's not over.
Well, it wouldn't be over, but in reality, if the Spurs lose tonight, their chances of winning this series are going to be very, very small.
Sure.
And most people, Spurs fans, certainly the Knicks fans, are going to think the Knicks are going to win.
They're going to think that.
And the chances of them winning are going to be high.
Uh-huh.
I think if the Spurs do go down into an 0-2 hole, they're not going to end up winning this series, right? When you look at the way the Knicks play, and you talk about the bad matchups, and now everything that this Spurs team has done this year gives you the belief that they'll figure it out and they'll get a win tonight, and this conversation is going to be pointless in about 6 hours from right now.
Uh-huh.
But in reality, and I think that's why you got so many, whether they're Spurs fans or the national experts, saying this is a must-win, because most of the time, if you're a team and you go down 0-2, especially against a team like the New York Knicks, you're not climbing out of that hole and winning the series. You're not going to win. I mean, you tell me right now, because my Spurs in 5 is still very much in play. What do you say? They're not going to win 4 straight. So if they lose tonight, are they going to win 4 or 5?
It's possible.
Well, sure. It's possible.
Dude, I'm just telling you, by definition, it's not a must-win game. It's the most overused phrase in sports.
Well,
must-win game.
And that might be true. Every game is important. Every game is important as the series goes on. Game 1, while it's the tone setter, might be the least important game of a series, right? Because it's just the first game.
Uh-huh.
We've seen a lot of teams fall down 0-1 and end up winning a series.
Sure.
Even a home team that has lost in a series. In the finals, home team loses game 1, they can still go win that series. 0-2 is a whole different animal. And, as the series progresses, the games get more important, therefore get the must-win for whichever team is on the wrong side of the ledger.
So we'll just see what those young studs are made out of. Mm-hmm. That kind of pressure, that kind of backs against the wall thing that they'll have going back to Madison Square Garden.
Yep.
You can shut up all those Knicks fans right to their face by winning 2 in New York City.
All they got to do, all the Spurs have to do, is make their 3-pointers.
Is that it?
I mean,
how about not take so many of those? That'd be nice.
I mean, it would be, but they are who they are. So we know they're going to take them. You and I can agree that we don't like that. You as Spurs fans, and I see it in the comments on our YouTube page that you can access through sasportstar.com. We all think they take too many threes. That's the way they play. They played that way all year. When they lose games, we criticize them for taking too many threes. In their 12 wins in the playoffs, the Spurs are shooting 39.3% from 3 and averaging 14 makes per game. In their losses, the Spurs are shooting 29.9% from 3 and averaging only 10.7 makes per game. It really is as simple. The numbers don't lie there. When they make their threes, they win games. When they don't make their threes, they lose. That's true for the Spurs and just about every other team out there, the make-or-miss league. The other night, they were awful from three-point range. Awful. And when you're shooting in the mid-20s from 3, percentage-wise, you're not going to win games.
Well, then you shouldn't take so many. Do something else.
But it's what they do.
Well, you know what? It's not what they do.
It is what they do, and they're in the NBA Finals.
Not when they rush their three-pointers like they did the other night. They've got to be more patient than that. If you're going to take them, make sure it's a good shot and not rush them. Again, there are ways to take threes that are better than others. You can't just run down the floor and jack up a 3 and hope that it goes in. You got to work it, and you got to make it a part of your offense. And the other night, they didn't do that. But the other night, I'm sitting there in the arena with AJ, and they're just jacking up threes, and bricks are falling all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, at what point in time when you're not making them, do you make the decision that maybe you shouldn't take so many? I mean, that's not you don't have to be a genius to think of that. Just say, hey, they're not falling tonight. Maybe we ought to try something else.
I'm with you. And at what point, Mitch, do you run some plays that are high percentage shots and you start scoring and you start feeling that and go from there? But it's the same thing that Mitch has done all year. And the other complaint that I have and a lot of you have is he doesn't seem to call timeouts to stop runs. Sometimes I wish that he would do that. We've all seen that. But again, we're angry after a Game 1 loss in the NBA Finals. But how he coached in the regular season, how he's coached to this point in the postseason, with them taking threes when they're not going, we're bitching about them the next day. We did the same thing in December and in January. When they didn't make the threes and lost a game, why are they taking so many threes? Even when they make them, you and I still complain that they take too many threes, but that's the NBA today. And that's what the Spurs do. It's frustrating, especially after a loss. But if they're making their threes and they win the game because they won the game, you don't focus on it as much because, well, they won the game. When they lose, it's a problem.
Well, it is a problem, and it's a problem anyway. And I don't think we'll see as many tonight. Just spitballing. I think they're going to work the ball because even Mitch Johnson seemed to be frustrated by the amount of three-pointers that this team is shooting. And they've just got to be smarter about it, and that's the thing. And especially if you're not hitting them. Look, if they're hitting them, jack them up. Let's go. But, I mean, at some point in time, you got to figure out if they're not falling, then you got to get that big fella, what's his name, Wemby, involved. Maybe down low or in the elbow or something like that instead of just settling for three-point shots that aren't going in.
And I know he won't do this, but wouldn't it be great if you made an agreement with Vic, who loves taking three-point shots? You get 5 a game. That's it. You get 5 a game. Otherwise, I want you inside. I wonder if they could come up with some sort of compromise there on when he decides to take threes.
I just wonder. I wonder, and I mean this in all sincerity, and I'd love to get everybody's feedback on this. Maybe he's not inside because he doesn't want to be. It may not have anything to do with Mitch Johnson. Wemby does not want to play inside. I think that's obvious.
Yep.
And until they get somebody that does and to back him up, I'm just not sure. And we saw how tired Wemby was in Game 1. And can you imagine going, 40 minutes, 38 minutes, however many minutes he plays tonight, being banged around by Robinson and Cat and everybody else that's wearing a New York Knicks uniform? And it's just, I don't think he wants to be down there. And I think that's more of the problem and maybe we're blaming Mitch Johnson. May not be Mitch. It may very well be Wemby himself saying, I'd rather be out here.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It's a thought, but that young man does not want to bang around with those guys. And again, Antonio Daniels told us if you were with us early in the show that the Knicks have the guys that can bang with him. They're different than every other team the Spurs have faced because they have more that they can throw at Victor Wembanyama specifically than all the other teams the Spurs have faced in the playoffs. So it's interesting. What do you guys think? We want to hear from you. You've heard from us. We want to hear from you. You can do that a number of ways. Go to our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page. You can like, subscribe, and comment there. You can get Jason on Twitter at Jason Minix. I'm at Joe Reinagle 210, or you can do it the old-fashioned way. We'd love to hear from you. 210-656-3776, 656-ESPN. This is The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Nobody ever plans on getting arrested, but it does happen to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. If you get arrested, you want to get out of jail fast. Best way to do that, call my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747, or you can even start the bonding process online, mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what all those conditions are before accepting it. Your best option for stress-free bail bonds is to call AA Best Bail Bonds because nobody beats their price. They offer payment plans, have a free shuttle service. They are discreet and confidential and open 24/7. They have offices all over San Antonio and Texas, services nationwide. So if you're up in Dallas, down in Corpus, anywhere in between, license number 149, call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, or go online at mybestbailbonds.com.
All right, step up. If you really know the Rangers, this is your game on Rangers Game Day. Make your call. In the morning huddles, Ranger Double Dinger Payday. Pick the Ranger who takes one deep. He hits one, you're in. Ranger tickets. He hits two, and then we're talking tickets and a hotel stay. Big swings, big rewards. Wake up with the morning huddle and cash in with the morning huddle's Rangers Double Dinger Payday. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the Texas Rangers.
Hi, I am Officer Sarai Walton with the San Antonio Police Department. SAPD is always hiring, and you can apply online if you think you have what it takes to become part of the SAPD family. Submit your application at sapdcareers.com. Once you submit your application, you will be contacted to begin the process. The San Antonio Police Department is always hiring. Start your journey to a rewarding career by applying online at sapdcareers.com. That is sapdcareers.com.
Here at Academy, we're putting the outdoors back in Academy Sports and Outdoors, especially for firearms and ammo. Whether you're punching paper at the range or heading to the field before sunrise, you'll find what you're looking for and probably a few things you didn't know you needed. Trusted brands, tons of options, and undefeatable prices. Right now for Father's Day, get up to $100 off the best brands in firearms through June 21st. Academy. Fun can't lose. Age restrictions apply. Remember to always keep it safe.
Support comes from Amazon Business. You can't rely on guesswork to run your business. With Smart Business Buying, innovative AI tools optimize your purchasing experience, paired with delivery options built for business. Empower your team today. Learn more at amazonbusiness.com.
Giving your liver a spring cleaning is easy with Active Liver from New Nordic, the delicious daily detox that will keep you feeling your best. Search for Active Liver by New Nordic on Amazon or pick up some at your local CVS, Wegmans, or GNC.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
The Spurs and the Knicks. This is where you come to talk about the finals. 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Oh, my goodness. About 4 hours away from tip-off inside the Frost Bank Center tonight. Game 2, NBA Finals, Spurs, Knicks. Big game for the San Antonio Spurs. Jason, I just looked. The Spurs are, right this moment in time, a 6.5-point favorite to win tonight's game. Started at 5.5, actually 5 if I'm not mistaken. So that means money in Vegas is going the Spurs' way.
You know, it is interesting. I'm surprised the line is as big as it is. Although you go back and you think about all the small lines that were in the Oklahoma City series, and most of those games not even close to the line. Even like the other night, the Knicks ended up winning the game by 10, even though it was a 1-point game with 2 minutes to go. But I like that the Spurs are that big of a favorite.
You do like it.
I do.
All right. Well, good.
6.5?
Yeah. Would you'd lay the 6.5 tonight?
Based on the Spurs' history, yeah. Following a loss, although I don't know, smart money might actually go on the New York Knicks.
Well, I don't know. I mean, obviously that line is going up as we speak, so the money in Vegas is going the Spurs' way. I think most of the so-called experts there think that the Spurs will win this game, and not only win it, but they'll win it, well, obviously by 7 or more. So we'll see what happens. I tend to – I have to believe it. There's no way in my mind I can see the Spurs laying an egg again. If the Knicks win, I think they're going to have to earn it for sure. I think both teams will play better. But I just have to believe the Spurs are going to bounce back and get this game and send it to New York tied at 1.
And again, I think part of it is something that we've all talked about. We saw Wemby play poorly. We saw De'Aaron Fox play poorly. We saw Julian Champagnie play really good for a half and play poorly in the second half. I mean, basically, if you were grading, Dylan Harper would be the only one with a passing grade from their Game 1 performance. You'd have a lot of D's and F's. Your 6th man of the year, 1, needs more than 8 minutes, but 2, he's got to be effective when he is out there. The bench should be a strength for the Spurs in this series, and in Game 1, it was not. You know, as I look on ESPN.com, the line at 6.5, the over-under at 216.5, the tickets as low as part of the website.
Yeah.
In San Antonio, as low as 631. For Monday, tickets as low as 8,772.
Unbelievable.
And for Wednesday, tickets as low as $8,093.
Unbelievable, right? I mean, unreal.
In so many ways, it's bizarre.
And that's just walking in. That's probably up in the rooftops.
Yeah. That's now Monday we're going to be live at the Roo Pub. Won't cost $8,000. On Wednesday we're going to be at the Doghouse Beer Garden in Stone Oak. Won't cost $8,000 to go over there either. So we got some, with the Spurs on the road next week, we're going to be out and about and having some pregame and watch parties. So make your plans now. Although I am curious if any of you listening are heading to New York to experience a finals game at the Garden. Now, Joe, you got to do that in 1999.
I did.
I did not. In fact, I've never seen a Knicks game at the Garden. I've been to concerts and I've seen New York Rangers games at the Garden, but I've never been to a Knicks game at the Garden. I can only imagine the experience, although with the president going on Monday, just the security getting in is going to be incredible. But you talk about the experience, and that's a big reason why the price is what it is, I think.
Well, there was nothing like it. And I'll never forget stepping into that place for the first time back in 1999 and just looking around in awe. It's just a remarkable place. It was fantastic. The crowd there, our crowd is fantastic. Their crowd is great as well. So look, and they're hungry. They are hungry. I know Spurs fans are hungry too. It's been a long time since we've won. Now times that by 3 or so for the New York Knicks, and that's how hungry they are. So it's going to be a raucous atmosphere. There is no question about it. How many celebrities are going to be in that place? I think every one of them are going to come out of the woodwork and find their way on the floor to get a little camera time from ABC on Monday and Wednesday night. It's going to be a phenomenal atmosphere. That's why the Spurs tonight is an important game. They need to get this thing, tie this series up, and figure out a way to win at least one there in New York.
It's crazy, and I say this half tongue in cheek. It might be easier to count the non-celebrities on Monday than the actual celebrities.
No kidding.
I mean, because even your C and D listers that are not going to be courtside are probably going to be there. Crazy. It's going to be wild. 210-656-ESPN 656-3776. Hey, Josh, you're on the Blitz. What's up, man?
Hey, I just want to get on conversation, and I kind of agree with you, Jason, on it's not a must-win, but it's the Spurs can't really drop the game, and they can't play as horrible as they did and just start jacking up threes like as if they're Sandy Lyle from Along Came Polly. So let's kind of, and if you're cold from the three-point line, let's not automatically just think, Wemby, you're amazing, but when you're 2 for 9 or 0 for 5, you're kind of not going to make the next one. There is that shooters are going to shoot, but you need to hold on the ball and let some time go, and then you can shoot it. If you want to shoot the threes, that's fine. Just wait till there's 5 or 8 seconds left on the shot clock, and then you can jack up your three and just let the rebound go to New York like it normally does whenever Wemby does it, because he's the one big man who's out on the three-point line thinking he's going to get a rebound from there. But we digress. And I think, again, Wemby's going to have an amazing game today. I think Spike Lee's going to actually see something that he's never seen before, and that's Wemby doing something that all of us have never seen before, and that's going to be awesome. And then you're going to have Ben Stiller actually see a good player, unlike half of his movies that he's made recently, which are all kind of garbage. So it's going to be awesome just to watch Wemby out there, because pissed off Wemby is our favorite Wemby.
You ain't lying. I mean, the Ben Stiller hate's a little uncalled for, but in this series, yeah. And it is cool having these celebrities come to San Antonio for these games. To be honest with you, we talked about it a week ago. I know they want to be there, but they don't have to with the series in New York. They want to be here. And, looking at some of the stuff online and social media and, my ESA playing their version of TMZ, following these guys around, they're hitting up all kinds of spots, and being very cool with the people of San Antonio.
Absolutely. It's going to be interesting tonight, and you're going to be down at the arena tonight, and you'll get a taste of what we saw on Wednesday. I wonder how many Knicks fans are going to be in the building tonight. I mean, again, and it's a pure guess, but there were thousands. I want to estimate there were about 5,000. What's the arena hold about? Just under 18,000? I wouldn't say it was half, but there were thousands of Knicks fans in the building on Wednesday night, and I'll be curious to see if there's the same amount there tonight.
Even if it's 20 or 25%, that's almost too many. And I'm kind of twofold on this. When you look at what those tickets were, I don't know what they sold for, but we all know what the asking prices are, right? But if you've got those tickets and the ability to make that kind of money, I ain't mad at you. I mean, I wish you wouldn't do it, but I ain't mad at you, right? At the same time, our friend over at Encore Jet, Eric, he just sent a text that the private airport, not as busy today as it was the other day. So did they fly in and fly out? They were just there for game one?
Could be.
Or did they fly in and they're here until the game is over? And I don't know what those planes do. I guess if it's your plane, it sits and waits. If it's not your plane and you just chartered it, rented it, it's going somewhere and working until you need it again.
Well, I would think a guy like Ben Stiller or Spike Lee, they probably have their own plane.
Sure.
Right? Or at least somebody like Eric that they can call on a dime and say, I need that right now, and let's go.
Well, yeah, but see, like with Eric's planes, you get where you're going, and then, all right, when are you coming back?
Right.
And that plane's working. It's not just always sitting there unless they're renting it the whole time. I don't know how the private jet business works, but I can tell you, he said he's in the business. He's got his own hangar over there, and he said it's not as busy today as it was the other day before game one.
It's Friday night, Minix. You know those celebrities, they got social stuff to do on a Friday night. The Knicks won on game one, so they don't give a damn about two. I don't know. Who knows? Who cares? I hope there's not as many Knicks fans in the building tonight as there were the other night, because it shocked the hell out of me. I won't lie to you. The first bucket that New York made and how just loud it got inside the Frost Bank Center from Knicks fans.
Yeah.
And it honestly just blew me away. I was going, holy cow. And then, well, once you knew that, every time the Knicks scored, it was just that loud. Spurs fans were doing a good job of trying to drown them out, though. I will say that. But it was tough to do. So hopefully not quite as many Knicks fans in the house tonight as there were the other night.
Now, watching the shows on ESPN that are being here in San Antonio, the San Antonio Zoo's done a good job of crashing the set. And, Tim Morrow, the CEO of the zoo, he made a bet with Kendrick Perkins, or a challenge. And it had something to do with shoveling poop. And Perkins has countered.
He's countered.
And this just happened on TV a couple of minutes ago, and Tim just sent me a picture of the TV. So if the Spurs win, this is what Kendrick Perkins says he is going to do. He ain't shoveling anything. He will treat San Antonio Zoo employees to a meal. He will sponsor Spurs fans with VIP treatment, whatever that means. He'll wear a Spurs chain for a month. He'll eat a raw onion on NBA Today.
Okay.
And shave his head and beard.
Wow. Well, that's a pretty good counter.
I mean,
to me,
because he doesn't want to shovel rhino.
Well,
stuff.
I mean, I would if it was me, and I'm shaving my head, I'm shoveling rhino whatever.
Well, I know you.
I'm telling you.
I mean,
I think that's much better. I don't know how Tim feels about that, but if he's going to treat all the employees there to a nice meal,
it doesn't say a nice meal. It just says a meal. I don't know what that means.
Well, what the hell?
It's a pizza party.
Okay.
I don't know.
Either way, it's a free meal, is it not?
Yep.
On Kendrick Perkins. So that's a good thing. I like the counter. I hope Tim likes the counter too, and he accepts.
Well, they're talking about the San Antonio Zoo on ESPN. So Tim's, what does Bill Taylor call it? A weather woody?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Zoo woody?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, but honestly, eating a raw onion. Who the hell does that?
I have no idea.
Who comes
does
up
that.
with that idea?
And why? He didn't. I mean, that was he could have left that out. That wouldn't have been a problem. And I don't think Tim would have said, "Oh, well, you left out the onion. You got to eat one."
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
I don't know who came up with that.
I like the Spurs chain.
Yeah,
and the shaving of the beard and head.
Yeah, I mean,
Kendrick's not exactly the best looking dude in the world as it is. What the hell's he going to look like without hair and a beard?
Now, the question that I have, he's wearing a Spurs chain for a month, and he's going to shave his head and beard. I don't know what his schedule is like when the season is over, but does he spend a month not on TV like some of the football guys do at the end of the season? Like that's not much if he ain't on TV every day.
Well,
you see what I mean?
Yeah, with the NBA season over.
I'm just trying to figure out who would eat a raw. I mean, he's going to eat a raw onion like somebody would eat an apple?
Dude, I don't know. I mean, he made that up, and I don't know where he came up with that. Maybe he likes onions.
It's his list of things he'll do if the Spurs win. I don't care how much you like onions. But to eat a raw onion like an apple is the way I read that. It's not like he's just going to dice a little off and eat it.
Oh, dude,
right?
I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, when they just did this on television, obviously the TV in the other room, well, it's in the other room, but it's also on mute. So I don't know any further explanation other than what Tim Morrow texted me.
Well, that's good. I'm glad that Tim texted us, so we kind of know what's going on. That's awesome. Now, Tim, you got to text us and are you going to accept those terms? Or does it have to be shoveling of poo?
While eating a raw onion. Oh, gross. I mean, so you would get a shovel.
Dude.
Before you would shave your head.
Yes. I would shovel all the rhino poo that Tim would like for me to do, yes. But I'm not eating an onion or shaving anything.
But you'll shovel poop.
Yes.
All right.
I mean, I shoveled a lot of that stuff daily. Right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
I mean, there's a lot of that coming out of your mouth.
Well, but it's not quite the same. I don't know what the hell that is.
I don't either. What is that, Edwin?
Uh-oh.
Edwin?
Maybe the equipment is overheated.
It's possible. What is that, Edwin?
Well, I'll tell you what, while we figure that out, why don't we take a break? If you can hear me at all, This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Enter the Drive Away for Education drawing sponsored by Ancira Auto Group, and you could drive off in a brand new car, truck, or SUV. Plus, don't miss our weekly drawings. Every dollar goes straight to Texas schools and students. Grab your tickets right now at texasyesproject.org.
Progressive knows you think the grass is always greener, like maybe you ride a motorcycle. But today, it's raining. So you wish you had an RV, but if you did, you'd have to listen to some guy parked next to it at a campsite play his acoustic guitar. Now, before you start wishing you had a boat, remember, your brother-in-law would invite himself every weekend.
Permission to come aboard, Captain?
But one thing that is greener is the money you could save when you bundle your RV, boat, or motorcycle with your home or auto with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
For adults with Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms, every choice matters. Tremfya offers self-injection or intravenous infusion from the start. Tremfya is administered as injections under the skin or infusions through a vein every 4 weeks, followed by injections under the skin every 4 or 8 weeks. If your doctor decides that you can self-inject Tremfya, proper training is required. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions, increased risk of infections or lower ability to fight them, and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or need a vaccine. Explore what's possible. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
Move over, Chips. There's a new crunchier MVP in the snack aisle. Enter pork rinds. Southern recipe pork rinds are low-carb, gluten-free, and packed with protein to keep you going. And the flavors, big, bold, crunchy. From sweet barbecue to hot honey, every bite brings that flavor-packed crunch you crave. Grab your favorites today at H-E-B or online at porkrinds.com. Southern recipe pork rinds are your snack time, crunch time hero.
Mellow Mushroom has the best pizza in San Antonio. Mellow delivers the best pizza experience with their delicious dough, premium ingredients, and unique flavors. Delivering a higher order of pizza is the standard. If Mellow can make a pizza this delicious, imagine what they can do with munchies, greens, calzones, and burgers. Mellow Mushroom has San Antonio's best happy hour with food specials and half-off adult beverages. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
You know, I think we're back on the air. That was kind of odd, weird. Let us know if we're back. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. In the meantime, you know that injuries do happen. And when they do, you can skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Corey area with extended hours Monday through Saturday. They have on-site x-ray casting and bracing. In fact, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, but best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. So if you're injured, get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
Why do you love Shriners Children's?
I love seeing all the opportunities she gets from being here. It's the look on her face the first time we walked in and she saw somebody else that looked like her.
They take good care of you.
It's just amazing because when I come here, I feel like I belong.
Shriners Children's provides specialized care and therapy that helps kids like me do what I love most.
At first, when the accident happened, we didn't think she was gonna walk again, but when she came to Shriners, it gave us hope that, hey, Braylee's gonna walk again.
This place is amazing, and I can't believe how much it's helped me through my hard times.
What I love about Shriners Children's is the mission. There's nowhere else in the world that I could provide the care that we provide for the patient and the family.
Thank you for helping us do what we love the most.
To learn more, visit loveshriners.org. Thank you.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Big game here in San Antonio tonight, obviously. Spurs looking to even up the NBA Finals series with the Knicks at a game apiece. Tip-off for Game 2 inside the Frost Bank Center, 7:42. Chicago Bears look like they're moving to Indiana. Board of Directors voted to advance their stadium development in Hammond, Indiana. Exact site still to be determined.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
From the studios of San Antonio's Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Blitz. 2 decades on the radio, Jason Minix. 2 decades on TV, Joe Reinagel. 2 San Antonio sports voices you've trusted for years. This is The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
On a game day Friday, and we're celebrating, I hope, in advance
Does this thing work?
Of what should be. Who knows what's working right now? A big game, Game 2, NBA Finals Series tonight. Spurs, Knicks. They're going to tip off about 7:42. Spurs looking to even up this series at 1 game apiece. And we've been talking a lot about it, and we want to hear from you. 656-3776, 656-ESPN. I'm Joe Reinagel. He's Jason Minix. Boy, getting closer.
You know, we are almost, just under 4 hours away from tip-off.
Uh-huh.
You know, 4:01, I'd imagine the buses are going to start going to the arena for the Knicks. Spurs players are going to be arriving. And, you know, how did they wake up this morning? How did you wake up this morning? You know, it's interesting. Last night, you and I were at the Rock Box for the Kingdom Collapse show.
Great show, by the way.
It was fantastic. And, you know, we bring them on, and I said at some point, you know, today was a 4-hour therapy session on the radio. Now we need some music therapy. And the number of people that, you know, we're talking at, you know, in between shows about the Spurs and what they need to do tonight. And, you know, it really is as simple as just making their threes. You know, the numbers don't lie. When they're making their threes at well over 30%, they're going to win the games. When they're in the 20s, they're going to lose. That's the bottom line for the Spurs. I think we all would like to say, well, don't take so many. But that's what they do.
It is what they do. My only thing is, if you're going to take them, fine, take them. But if they're not falling, maybe you want to try something else. That's all I'm saying. Look, the only reason the Knicks got back in the game on Wednesday night was the fact that the Spurs were bricking threes. And that, how many times has that happened during the season? It's happened a ton during the season where the Spurs would have a big lead, and here comes they start missing threes, and then all of a sudden here comes the other team back. And that's what happened. And so it can't happen tonight. And that's what I'm talking about. If the Spurs end up with a double-digit lead again, then run some time off the clock. You know, work the ball inside. Do something different. That's all I'd like to see. Instead of just running down there and automatically finding Julian Champagnie in the corner and letting him take a 3-point bucket or shot. Again, if you're making those, it's great. It's fantastic. But if you're not, it's a problem.
Now, one of the things that Victor said yesterday when talking to the media is because of this playoff run, you know, and this group has never been in the playoffs before, right? So they're learning as they go. And you know what? You look at their playoff history this year, they've been down in a bunch of these series and no big deal.
Yes, it's very reassuring. We know we're not here by chance, We've been through some weird situations or whatever. And yes, it's reassuring to know that these guys, the 18 guys we got, are built this way and are resilient.
Well, of course they're resilient, and they have come back, and they're still a confident team. They know they can come back. They know they've been down before. I think they've learned some valuable lessons in this thing, and I fully expect them to come back tonight. I really do. Again, though, they showed they showed that they can get a big lead on these guys. But they've got to hold that, and that's the thing that they didn't do the other night that they've got to do tonight.
Well, true, but I think part of it, and Wemby said it as much, they just have to have a better mental approach to tonight's game.
Really, I think the reason we lost that game isn't even technical. It's not even technical, tactical. It's we need to approach the game with a better mental state, and we just need to play our game. We just need to be normal. We don't need to do anything incredible.
I don't know what normal is and what they did that was abnormal on Wednesday, but I guess that makes sense to him and hopefully the players too. But you just got to. I mean, this is a Knicks team that is capable of coming back from any deficit that there is. The Spurs have got to learn to put their foot on their neck when they get a lead and keep it that way. And I mean, it sounds easy. And look, they did, and even the Spurs battled back. But when you've got a guy like Jalen Brunson, who everybody I've ever talked to and heard and whatever, he's the best closer in basketball. And he did it again to the Spurs on Wednesday night.
He did. Again, it took an incredible fourth quarter from Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson did not have the greatest game. He had a great fourth quarter. Their superstar showed up. The Spurs superstar did not. Then he says, I just have to be normal. What the hell does that actually mean?
Normal means trusting each other, trusting the basketball guys, trusting the game plan, executing, and not relying on talent so much to make shots or to save the day. We've been playing a certain way all season, and we've been successful this way, and there's no reason to change the day the finals start.
Huh. Okay. Again, I'm not sure what kind of message. That's an alien message, apparently, to somebody.
Well, he seems, and he was asked, dude, your demeanor, you seem a little bit more calmer in the finals than you were when facing Oklahoma City.
I don't know. I'm just speaking with my heart.
Third row on the aisle.
And reacting with my heart. So I can't answer that question, but an explanation would be that as the series goes on, it gets closer to qualification or elimination. So tension level normally rises.
Okay.
You got to translate a little bit.
I suppose, yeah.
I think the reality, everybody looked at the Western Conference Finals as the real NBA Finals. National TV people were saying that until, again, we got here and their Knicks are playing. But so many people were talking about just how great the Western Conference Finals were going to be. Boy, Spurs and Thunder, if we get that in the Western Conference Finals, when the playoff bracket came out, we were talking about that. These guys, in a lot of ways, the Spurs, aren't they built to beat Oklahoma City? They're not built to beat the New York Knicks. And you just wonder if so much went into that 7-game series. Even though the job's not over, and he talked about the job not being over, and every Spur player talked about the job not being over, was there too much of a, we got here, and now they've got to figure out that next gear or kick it back up again, because they were on such an emotional high after having to win Game 6 and 7 for the opportunity to play the New York Knicks that so many people thought was a foregone conclusion that there's going to be a river parade because the Eastern Conference sucks.
Very true, and I just wonder, because it wasn't just us saying that we thought the Western Conference Finals was the true finals, that whoever wins that, whoever comes out of that is going to win the championship. And the Knicks heard that stuff too.
Yep.
And hey, they've got a lot of pride, and they said, wait a second, we're not going to be a pushover, we're not going to be easy, and they're not. Obviously, they're not. They came back, they played the Spurs tough. On Wednesday night. They're going to play them tough again tonight. And the Spurs have to figure out a way to win and figure out a way not only to step up in that fourth quarter, but to somehow limit Jalen Brunson from doing the same thing. Because given the opportunity, he's going to damn sure try. And what's amazing about that Knicks basketball team is certainly that we saw in game one of this series, his teammates have no problem with him grabbing the basketball and taking over in those closing moments. They have no issue with it at all because he's done it so many times and he's damn good at it.
Well, and that's it. I'm not trying to say selfish superstar, but when it's time to go, they know they're going to Jalen Brunson, and he has earned that. A guy like Cat has said, "Yep, change my role. Let me see what I can do," and he's been so good, and he was good the other night. Josh Hart was really good. Nobody expected him to get all those rebounds. I mean, but at the same time, and the Knicks weren't great, they were better. But as bad as San Antonio was, they were up 14. It was a 1-point game with 2 minutes to go. Yeah, they lost by 10, but there's a reason those players have said they let that one slip away. Spurs players, not fans, those players feel more like they lost that game, gave it away, than they got beat by the New York Knicks. My only problem with that is the Knicks have been doing this. Cleveland's coach got hammered. And I went back and listened to the question because when you hear the answer, well, analytically we're better. Well, he was asked, what gives you confidence that you could beat this team? Well, analytically, you look at the shots we're getting, we like them. We just got to knock them down. We look at this, that, and the other. I mean, the Knicks the Cavaliers did not feel like they were a team that should have gotten swept. They feel like they're better than that. The Spurs team feels like they're better than taking a loss the other night, but they got that loss the other night. Sometimes you got to look at the Knicks, tip your cap, and say, I don't know how you're doing it, boys, but you're getting it done.
Well, they are getting it done. And the thing about New York in their series with Philadelphia and with Cleveland, I mean, they just find a way to take your soul. It's kind of like we talk about Cleveland quitting in Game 4. I just think they looked around and said, man, this team is just playing out of their minds, and we've got no answer for them. And I hope it doesn't get to that point. And I don't think that it will with the Spurs, but that is what happened with Philadelphia and with Cleveland. Look, this team is playing at an extremely high level. They're playing great basketball. They didn't play great the other night. I think they were rusty, and the Spurs played just as bad. And it came down to the wire, to the buzzer. And so I expect both teams to play better, but I don't look for either team to blow the other one out. This is going to be a battle for however many games this goes.
And the NBA just sent a press release about that Game 1 viewership. You know, the Western Conference Finals crushed it for NBC. The finals are doing the same for ABC. The most watched finals Game 1 since 2018. Average audience of about 17 million, 16.93. Audience peaked with nearly 20 million right at 10 o'clock. Largest Game 1 audience ever outside of that Golden State-Cleveland finals matchup. Viewership up 90% from last year's Game 1.
Wow. It wasn't an exciting game finals last year, Indiana and OKC. I mean, that wasn't anything. I mean, we enjoyed it. We're sports fans. But,
Yep.
I mean, I'm just saying to everybody else, this one is, number one, the media market in New York is going to help those numbers for sure. And you've got Wemby.
Alien.
Yes. And so people are interested. And I have a feeling tonight's game is going to be just as crazy and have that many viewers as well, especially on a Friday night. It's going to be nuts. So It's going to be a lot of fun, and we're getting damn close. Chris, we know you're on the phone line. Hang there, my friend. We will get to you here in just a moment. We continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. You looking for a place to go tonight to watch this game? Novo Brewery. I tell you what, I've seen some videos, seen some pictures of other Spurs games in there, and it gets crazy. There are a lot of folks in there having a great time, enjoying what Novo Brewery has to offer, and that's a bunch of TVs. There is not a bad seat in the house in Novo Brewery. Plus, they've got a full bar there. It is incredible. Any kind of cocktail you want, they can whip that up for you. They've got 60 craft beers on tap, and they've got domestic beer on tap. So there's not a beer there. You won't be thirsty is what I'm trying to say. They've also got bottled and canned drinks as well. And then there's the food menu. The food menu is absolutely fantastic. This place, it is just outstanding. I don't know what they do, what their secret is, but everything that I've had at Novo Brewery has just been fantastic. I love the picanha skewers. It is my absolute favorite at Novo Brewery. They got everything from wings to burgers, sandwiches, all the way up to ribeye steaks. So you're not going to be hungry. Go hungry. And you can take your kids there if you have to. Take them. They've got a play area for the kids. They'll be entertained while you're watching the game. It is just a great place to go. First location in Texas. You want to check them out before you go? You can certainly do that. All you have to do is go to novobrew.com. That's N-O-V-O brew.com.
The largest gun show in San Antonio is at the Shriner Auditorium this weekend. Texas Gun Shows is open today, 4 to 7 p.m., 10 a.m. to 5 Saturday, and then 10 a.m. to 4 Sunday. Texas Gun Shows is at the Shriner Auditorium on 1604 today through Sunday.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from IQ Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at eatiqbar.com/policy/terms of service.
I've got good news and bad news. Here's the bad news. Most protein bars are packed with sugar and unpronounceable ingredients. The good news? There's a better option. I'm Will, and I created IQ Bar plant protein bars to empower doers like you with clean, delicious, low-sugar brain and body fuel. IQ Bars are packed with 12 grams of protein, brain nutrients like magnesium and lion's mane, and zero weird stuff. And right now, you can get 20% off all IQ Bar products, plus free shipping. Clean ingredients, amazing taste, and you'll love how you feel. Refuel smarter, hydrate harder, caffeinate larger with IQ Bar.
Try our delicious IQ Bar sampler pack with 9 plant protein bars, 8 hydration mixes, and 4 mushroom coffee sticks. And now you can get 20% off all IQ Bar products plus free shipping when you text RADIO to 64,000. Text RADIO to 64,000 to get your 20% off. That's RADIO to 64,000.
Ever tried answering emails with kids running through the house? Coldplay Cove is the better way to work and parent. A modern family space where you can grab coffee, work, recharge, and connect while your child safely learns and plays nearby. Built for families, rooted in community. Learn more at coldplaycove.com.
Let's be honest. Watching the Rangers is better when you got something on the line. On Rangers game days, call your shot with the morning huddles. Rangers double dinger payday.
Play ball!
Pick the Ranger you think will send one into the seats. He hits one, you're going to a Rangers game. He hits two. Now you've just been upgraded. Tickets and a hotel stay. That's what we call getting paid. Wake up with the Morning Huddle. Make your pick and win with the Morning Huddle's Rangers Double Dinger Payday. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the Texas Rangers. San Antonio and New York. This is where you come to talk about the finals. 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Game Day Friday here on the Blitz, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagle. He is Jason Minix. And Jason, I don't know if I told you, I haven't told the story on the air at least, but I'm at the bank earlier today.
Oh, yeah?
And this very nice lady says, I listen to you guys every day. And I don't know how old she is. It doesn't matter, but she's an attorney and knew a lot about the show. And she said, I'm probably not your average demographic. And I said, well, you might be surprised, but, we really appreciate you listening. So it was kind of nice to hear that, and kind of unexpected. I'm just standing there waiting for my turn, and very nice. Kind of made my day.
That is awesome. So an attorney, huh?
An attorney. Criminal attorney.
Criminal, huh?
Yeah. I said, I hope I never have to see you professionally.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. No, we love it when the ladies talk about listening.
Absolutely.
And when they call into the show, there are a lot more female listeners now than there were, years ago. And we used to joke, the numbers used to be something like 89% male and the 11% female were stuck in cars and not allowed to change the channel was kind of the joke back in the day. But I do think with gambling becoming more and more accessible and easy, and the only appointment television out there is a game. Nobody says, man, I got to be home Thursday at 8 or Sunday at 7 to watch a show that everybody's going to be talking about the next day. The world just doesn't work that way anymore, and being on 94.1 has certainly helped with that big time. So glad she's listening. Glad she said hello.
We appreciate it. We really do. Anytime y'all say that, it makes us makes our day.
I had a lady last night at the Rock Box at the Kingdom Collapse show. Say she was a big fan of the show, except for there's times that, we forget there might be ladies listening. And I said, does it make you laugh? She says, yes, because you're juvenile.
Well, she's right about that.
I said, you're right.
I saw that lady showing off all her tattoos last night.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So, and my apologies. I've been reminded here a couple of times that I had a little expletive as we were introducing Kingdom Collapse.
The FCC wasn't regulating you there on that microphone?
They weren't.
No.
I got carried away in the moment.
I mean, you got caught up, I mean, you look out there and you think, man, I want to stage dive. And then you realize the amount of space between the stage and the barrier, and I don't know that I'd make it to be able to stage dive.
I don't trust that the people would catch me. I think they'd laugh at my face if I fell down.
No, that's the etiquette when somebody is crowd surfing or stage diving. Everybody's going to catch you. That's part of the rock and roll community.
Well, it was a great show last night, and again, appreciate all the folks that were there, and again, everybody. And Minix and I both, we like it when you come up and say hello.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. Or when you call into the show.
Absolutely,
like
yes.
Chris.
Mm-hmm.
He's been hanging on a long time. Hey, Chris, you're on the Blitz. What's up, man?
Yeah, I just wanted to speak on. I know we're talking about how we're all caught up in the Western Conference Finals being the defining going to be the champions, and that is true. And also, I wanted to say something. The scary part is that I think if we didn't do that, we might not have made it out of the Western Conference Finals, of course. But while we were in that moment, I think games 5 through 7, New York was at home, able to study us and watching us play live in the moment. So it didn't really show in game 1. I think they had to warm up, but they, I think they had a lot more time to get to watch us and study us more than we were able to do. So hopefully we can bounce back and snap back from that.
Absolutely, Chris, and that valid point, my friend. Appreciate the phone call. You can get on there as well, 656-3776. Chris makes a good point. I mean, look, rust. We talked about it. What's better, what's not. Spurs look tired in game 1. The Knicks look rusty in game 1. So I think both things can be true at the same time.
It's a great. I mean, yes, two things can be true. Both teams didn't play great basketball. Was that the rust factor for the Knicks? Was it, I don't know. It may be, again, you got two quality teams that are going against each other, trying to keep you from doing what you do best. The idea, though, and the part that kind of gets me is when you say, dude, all these guys are so young, how can they be tired? And they're tired is very different than you're tired. This isn't, let me go mow the lawn, edge and weed eat, and then go grab a cold beer and sit in my chair and try to cool off for 45 minutes because you exerted yourself. I mean, you think about the number of games that they are playing. And when you hear guys like from the Golden State Warriors or LeBron James talk about the amount of basketball that he plays in a year, with all those trips to the NBA Finals, all those extra games, your 82 regular season games, and even the games they take off, just the travel, the up, the down, going through the workouts every day, and then you add in the intensity of the playoffs and the physical nature of the game. it is different. DeMarcus Lawrence, when he said after the Cowboys got beat by the Packers that they were tired in the playoffs.
Yes.
And all of us lose our mind over stuff like that. But their tired is different than our tired.
Yeah.
Right? It just is different. And then when you watch and you talk to, whether it was Malik Rose yesterday or Danny Green this week and all the other former players that we've talked to about Wemby being tired at this stage, and they talk about the physical nature of the things he's dealing with, plus Wemby is playing both ends of the court. A lot of these other players, they can rest a little bit on defense, if you will.
Yeah.
Or when you're a defensive-minded guy, you can rest and hide a little bit on the offensive end. Everything goes through Wemby on both ends of the court.
Yeah, you're exactly right. He can't take time off when he's on the floor, and he can barely take any time off, period, because that's when the other teams typically go on their runs. And no disrespect to Luke Cornett, but it's just a fact. I mean, they're not the same player, not even close. So it happens. And I think when other teams see Wemby on the bench, it's just like they kick it into another gear. It's unbelievable how that works. So, again, I don't know what Wemby does, but the fact that he's just because I didn't see anybody else that looked tired. Maybe De'Aaron Fox perhaps missing bunnies, but I get where Wemby is tired just because of what Jason just said about him not being able to take any time off. But, man, all throughout this playoff run, the Spurs, they have the opposition has just physicaled him, if that's a word. They've just been so physical with him, banging him around. And, again, it's just that wears on you. It certainly does.
It's when you're right, and I don't know what the right word is, but you're right. I mean, just the abuse that he takes and the number of games played is there. But he looked tired from the get-go. And I think we've all watched Wemby enough to know when he's tired, he takes threes. When he's tired, you see him lean over a little bit and grab his shorts. And, and I don't know because Mitch Johnson is in a tough spot. Because if you try to get Wemby his normal rest, and that dude has not had his normal rest really since the playoffs began, not his regular season rest. Now, is this a byproduct of being on limited minutes throughout the regular season, and now you're being asked to do more, and as great of shape that you are in, your body's not used to it, and it affects you differently. Maybe you shouldn't be limited the minutes in the regular season, although isn't that designed so you have a fuller tank when you get to the postseason? They'll study it because, the Spurs are keeping all kinds of data on what's going on. Wemby and his workouts, is his workouts designed for an 82-game season, not, what he missed, 20-something games, right?
Yep.
And how many playoff? I know the team has played over 100 at this point. Wemby has missed about 20 of them.
So we had a 5, a 6, and a 7, right?
Yep.
Okay, so whatever that is, 18 games, 18 more games?
Well, and one, so 19, game one of the finals.
Yeah, okay, yes.
Right.
So 19 extra games. Look, again, these guys are not used to playing this many games. They're just not. So, but everybody's tired. Everybody's banged up. I don't care who you are. To play this long and to survive this long, it takes a lot, and it takes its toll. I mean, I would imagine, we joke when you get, at this point, whoever loses this game, whoever wins it, they're probably going to sleep for a week. I mean, seriously.
Now, whoever wins it, they're going to party for a week and then crash. And I'll go back to something that Wemby said not long ago. He'll sleep in July. Now, it's funny. The last time he looked tired was Game 5, right?
Yep.
And then you saw Game 6 and 7. And then he looked tired. And go back to what he said at Media Day when he said this team still needs to recenter itself. Were they still on too much of an emotional high after beating Oklahoma City? Well, if that were the case, they got punched in the mouth. So if they couldn't recenter themselves, the Knicks should have recentered them, and maybe you get that focused, pissed-off Wemby coming in. Now, they played Wednesday. They play tonight. The good news is they get on a plane, I'm going to assume tomorrow, probably not fly tonight, They'll have all day Sunday in New York. They'll have some media stuff. And then you're playing Monday night. But that extra day this weekend is beneficial to both teams, but might be more beneficial to Victor Wembanyama than anybody else.
Well, I would think so, and I would assume as much as Wemby's probably going to want to go and although he's been in New York, maybe see some things, he's not going to be able to do that. Man's going to have to camp out in his hotel room.
He ain't going to play chess in Central Park on this trip.
I would assume that is the case. We'll see what happens tonight. But you're right. When they looked tired in that Game 5 against OKC, they responded with a vengeance in Game 6. I expect a better effort from everybody, including De'Aaron Fox, Devin Vassell, who didn't have a good game. I mean, nobody had a good game. There was really no one except for Dylan Harper, and we'll see if he can continue that and maybe get a little more playing time in the fourth quarter. But I expect a better game out of the Spurs, certainly, but I expect a little bit better game out of the New York Knicks as well. And the question's going to be, and you kind of responded to this earlier in the show, Jason, when you concerned that New York's not going to be satisfied with getting one here.
Yep.
They're going to want to take a 2-0 lead back to New York. So I don't expect them to do what Minnesota did, and it certainly looked like that's what Minnesota did when they won Game 1 here in San Antonio. They kind of coasted in Game 2. I don't expect New York to do that. I expect them to lay the hammer down and try to win this game tonight.
Now, that said, I don't know that Minnesota they surrendered early, but they were trying to get two. But early on, when they realized this Spurs team was different, it's almost like they were like, all right, we did what we wanted here. This Knicks team, they just seem different. Jalen Brunson is different.
He is.
I mean, Jalen Brunson, and we'll get into this coming up, there's some things that are going on during the finals that Jalen Brunson wants nothing to do with.
And, yeah, and it makes perfect sense, at least to me, and to Jalen Brunson.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll tell you what that is when we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You know, the place to be tonight if you're not going to the game is the Rue Pub there at 281 and Redland Road. I've watched a bunch of these playoff games over at the Rue. The atmosphere, the energy is incredible. Obviously, they've got those 3 massive 170-inch screens, TVs all around. Place is going to be packed. The energy is so much fun. And the food is fantastic, so make sure you go hungry. Their fried shrimp, love it. They got the biggest and best wings in town, about 15 different burgers. Their hot dogs are incredible. Their salads, I'm told, their appetizers, and that kitchen is open late every day with the full menu available. So even if you're going to the game afterwards, you want to go celebrate the Game 2 win, series being tied 1-1, and you're hungry, don't go to a drive-thru. Get into the Rue Pub there at 281 and Redland Road, just down from the Big Blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Rue Pub, 281 and Redland Road. We'll see you at the Rue.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Quarry area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at TSAOG.com.
Now that Wendy's has these new biggie deals, everyone in the family can get what they're craving, from nugs to JBCs. The parental units can get an $8 biggie bundle, the eldest who think they're so grown can get a $6 biggie bag, and the little one who can do no wrong can get a $4 biggie bites. You know, assuming they have a credit card. No, I'm kidding. We take cash too. $4, $6, and $8 biggie deals for the whole family. Only at Wendy's.
Price and participation may vary. Single items at regular price. Prices may be higher in Alaska, California, and Hawaii.
This Father's Day, join the Blitz live at Coldplay Cove in Stone Oak. Enjoy Dad and Me sports activities, coffee tastings, giveaways, raffles, and family fun built for modern families. Grab your tickets now through the events page at coldplaycove.com.
It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
So you're saying Jalen Brunson is a different kind of cat? He certainly has a killer mentality. We all saw that in Game 1 of the NBA Finals on Wednesday night here in San Antonio. Hi, everybody. I'm Joe Reinagle. Jason Minix is right there as well. And
hello.
Hey, Jason. How are you?
I'm good.
Oh, you sound
right there
great.
as well.
That's good.
That was odd.
Well, I'm a different cat too. All right, let's just.
You talk about superstitions.
Uh-huh.
And I've seen some people in our YouTube chat giving you crap because you're wearing a pink shirt today.
What the hell?
Well, because the Spurs are 1-3 with the Fiesta colored T-shirts, and you're a little bit more Fiesta-y today because you wore your one Spurs shirt the other night, and apparently it's not laundered yet ready for Game 2, although it lost, so can't wear that shirt again.
Well, let me tell you something. Since I bought that shirt, Spurs are 1-2 when I wear that.
Uh-huh.
So I may have to burn it.
Not may.
No, I'm not burning that shirt. Are you kidding me? I'm just saying. So maybe this is the key right here. And you know what we haven't done today?
No.
You know what we haven't done today? Edwin
doesn't know where that is.
Yeah, he does.
No, he doesn't.
You know where that song is, Edwin?
No.
The Igor song?
Yes.
Igor?
I go, we go, you go, he go. Yeah.
Fight for first place. Fight for first place. Cause it's we you till the end. Always by your side, my friends. Fight for first place. Fight for first place. Spurs they will scream and shout, and it will be very loud. Fight for first place.
This cracks me up.
Edwin doesn't even want to hear the rest of it. He just turns it off. See, I think part of it is it doesn't hit the same with James Pledger not on the other side.
Why is that?
Singing it as loudly and dancing.
Well,
Edwin,
James dances,
You've got to sing and dance the way James Pledger does.
You don't want to hear me sing.
No,
well, you're on the
or
other
dance
side
at
of
all.
the glass. It's all good, but you got to play. If you're going to play the song, play the damn song.
And it will be very loud. Fight for first place. Go Spurs, go! Go Spurs, go!
Good Lord.
Go Spurs, go! Go Spurs!
That dude hurt himself right there.
He stubbed a toe.
Holy
Joe's
cow.
toe. Whoa!
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Very nice. So there you go, Spurs fans. You're welcome. Guaranteed win tonight because we're not messing that up with anything else. It stands on its own, just like that.
So your shirt's 1-2, huh?
The new shirt I bought, yeah, 1-2. First day I wore it, Spurs lost. I think that was, I want to say maybe that was Game 5 in the OKC series.
So the must win. It was your fault.
Let's see. It had to have been before that. Anyway, it's 1-2. I don't know what the other ones are, but yeah, 1-2. I should have wore it today because the Spurs are going to win tonight.
You can't mess with what's going on, although you show up in a pink shirt, right? And
It's
the
not
1-3.
pink.
What is that?
I don't know.
That's pink.
It's not pink.
That literally is pink.
Okay, whatever. Doesn't matter. I didn't get my pink shirt at the game the other night.
I thought you had a pink one.
No.
AJ took it?
Well, he took it, but when I sat down in the seats that we confiscated, there were no shirts there. People just come by and take them.
Really?
Yes, I guess. There were no shirts there.
Well, maybe they didn't put shirts there because, although early on, even the media seats had shirts.
Well, they did. There were a bunch of shirts. I should have just gone and swiped one.
You should have.
I should have.
You should have.
But I didn't. See, I'm not that kind of guy. I'm an honest dude.
Did you sit in your assigned seat?
No, I didn't have an assigned seat.
So you just sat in somebody else's
Yes.
seat? Yeah. So you're going to tell me how honest you are? You sit there until somebody makes you move?
That's exactly right.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
The good news is I'm going with Rob tonight.
Yeah.
The shirts never fit him.
Well, snag me one, will you?
No.
Well, there are no shirts tonight.
No, they're towels.
They're towels.
Yeah.
I don't want a towel.
You don't want a towel?
No.
You use it on the golf course.
I don't want a towel. We used to have one hanging there. What happened
All
to
our
it?
stuff in there was I don't know. They must have, because when we came in today, like stuff was off the walls and the helmets weren't where they were supposed to be.
Well, I think even the helmets and the towels are getting the hell out of the studio. It's so hot.
It is. Well, I can't wait to leave for the arena. Monday we'll be live at the Roo Pub where there's air conditioning.
Yes, there is.
Next Wednesday ahead of Game 4 will be a Doghouse Beer Garden in the Stone Oak location there at Stone Oak and 281. That'll be a lot of fun.
I'm assuming there's air conditioning there, too.
There's air conditioning there,
Okay,
too.
well, there you go. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Good stuff. Look at Tom says no more shirts for media. What? Come on, Tom.
Media should be working.
The media enjoys free stuff more than anybody else. I mean, this is true, right?
If it's free, no, yeah, it's it's true. Now, if you're New York media, you might not want the shirt, or you want it as a collectible, right?
I think a lot of those New York types took shirts.
But also, I mean, let's be honest. I'm a Spurs fan, and with my job, and I know a lot of you want to tell us how to do our job. I don't have to be unbiased. I can have an opinion.
Yes.
Yes. There are other media members that can be fans, but while doing their job, they can be an unbiased reporter, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. So, and I know one of my favorite shirts from an NBA Finals, 2014 in Miami, where they put out all these shirts, and it was, the Finals logo, and it had Miami's run to the finals with everybody crossed off but San Antonio. And I thought, I'll keep that one.
Yeah.
Because they never got to cross off San Antonio in 2014.
That's true.
Well, that was a good shirt.
That was a good one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And never forget our friend Bob Ballou went to he actually went to the Texas game when they won the national championship with Vince Young. And they had USC shirts as national champions. And they were throwing those out after Texas won. He brought me one of those.
A USC national championship shirt? And some poor kid in some country you can't find on a map is without that shirt because of you?
I know. Another thing was like 4X, I think. It was huge.
So you wear it all the time, huh?
No, I don't know where that shirt is. Yeah, I was looking through my T-shirt collection that I've just kind of stuffed in a drawer, and there's some crazy T-shirts in there. I've got a I almost wore it last night. An L Alien from the Roo Pub.
Why didn't you wear it last night?
I don't know. I was being a fanboy. Wore a Kingdom Collapse shirt.
Groupie.
Yes. But I forgot I had that shirt, and I think Chip sold those like right after Wemby was introduced here in San Antonio.
Still a popular shirt over there at the Roo Pub.
Yeah, absolutely.
My buddy John was down on the south side, and he got a shirt for a friend of his. And I was like, dude, I might wear that on stage tonight, although she's small, so no, I wasn't going to wear it. But it was one of those bootleg shirts with Selena on it, with the Spurs logo.
I want to get a bootleg shirt.
Well, they're $15. Go get one.
I'm going to, yeah.
They're not long-term investments, obviously.
Well, no, of course not. But, just to say you've done it. I've never done it. And you
mean go to the South Side?
Well, no, I've been to the South Side plenty of times.
Go shopping on the South Side?
I have not bought a bootleg Spurs shirt, so I'd like to do that. I mean, when the Spurs were back in the the day, I was still in TV and I wasn't around. Now I've got some time to go down and do that.
What do you mean you weren't around?
I was
you were still living here.
Well, I was living here, but I wasn't wearing a lot of T-shirts. I had to wear those
suits.
The suits.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do they sell bootleg ties?
You can get anything on Southwest Military.
I'm sure you can. It's a great country.
Jalen Brunson. You talk about superstition. He did a little sit down with Malika Andrews from ESPN.
I'd be distracted. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say that out
Speaking
loud?
of that focus, the Larry O'Brien trophy is everywhere. It's ever present. It's on the set. It's next to the court. It's in rooms that you're asked to go and shoot promotional videos with. But you wouldn't go in. You didn't want to be near the trophy. Why?
How'd you hear about that?
I know, right? I know what's happening.
It's no comment.
Comment after maybe the Larry O'Brien trophy's in reach?
No comment.
I think Kobe Bryant might appreciate that mentality of just that ultimate focus.
Well, and he wasn't commenting on it, but he doesn't want to be with the Larry O'Brien trade until it's his, right? Or until it's the Knicks.
You know,
and I get that.
It's interesting. Like in hockey, when you win the Eastern or the Western Conference, you get a trophy. And hockey players will take their photo with it because they're required to, but they don't skate with it, right?
Well, it happens in basketball too, right?
You know, to a degree, right? But it's different. Like, I noticed after that was brought up by Malika that the finals logo is there, but the trophy is not. And so I wonder if she found out about it because when they were setting up for the one-on-one, somebody from the Knicks PR team said, yeah, you got to get that trophy off of that set or that wall or something, or Jalen's not going to do this sit down. You know, the word the finals was up there, but not the Larry O'Brien trophy. And I get it. I wish he would say something other than no comment. Yeah, until it's mine, I don't want my picture with it.
Yeah, I wish he would have said that. Yeah, that would have been a great thing to say. I don't know. The Spurs, have they done that? Has Wemby done that? I wonder. I didn't know that was a thing. Or I'm sure Wemby was invited to do that.
Well, I mean, there's all kinds of stuff you can do, and I wouldn't be surprised, just the different mentality. And I'm not saying one's right and one isn't, but I wouldn't be surprised if Victor didn't do whatever he needed with that trophy to hold it, to touch it, to visualize owning it one day. You know, it's like when you're shopping for a new car and you go down and you test drive it and you sit there on the showroom floor and you're like, can you picture me driving this thing? I neither one is a wrong mentality to have, right? But the idea of Jalen Brunson making that a requirement for interviews might be a little over the top, but whatever his superstition is, man, roll with it because they're on a roll.
Yeah, sports guys and athletes are probably the most superstitious people in the world, and obviously sports fans. I mean, people, pissed off at my pink shirt today. And I think it was appropriate. It's perfect for this. So I mean, that's what we do, though. The superstitions that people have, and you may not even know you have it, but like on a game day, I mean, is there something that you do that you have to do that just is you think if you don't do it, the Spurs are going to lose? Like with me now, it's that I go, we go, you go song. I mean, I got to have it.
You got to have it.
Got to have it by itself.
You can keep that for yourself.
I might. It's possible. I just bug the crap out of everybody and make that my ringtone.
Well, nobody calls you, so go ahead.
No, I get lots of calls.
Oh, well, besides the scammers.
they call a lot. That's what I'll do. When the scammers call, just play that song.
For
loud,
them?
loud, right in their face.
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah.
Good Lord. You think about tonight's game and what's going to be different. And we keep talking about the film study that the Spurs have to do. Mitch Johnson was asked yesterday after going over the film, was it worse than you thought it was after the when he went to the podium after game one?
I think we gave ourselves a lot of aspects of the game we need to improve. So it didn't take too much film or too deep to dig to find the second chance points is clearly one of them. 16 assists is not a reflection of this program ever since I've been here, decades before I was. And we can be much sharper on just a lot of game plan execution stuff. And then I think, you add that I think Victor will play better. Sure. I think a couple guys will make more shots than they did. I agree. So if you just do that stuff, that's just going to happen and just on its own over time, water finding its little percentage, evening out. But I think there's a lot of things also we can control that are much more approach, game plan, execution driven that we can improve upon before you even get to, what did this guy shoot from the field, et cetera, et cetera.
Well, you listen to Mitch there, and it sounds like I'm sure there's going to be an adjustment or two. I don't think there's any question about it. But, it just comes down to that's simple. We just have to play better.
Well, they got to play better and avoid those late game mistakes.
Yeah, we talked about it, discuss it. Old teams make bad decisions too at the end of games. So I think it's just an opportunity to look at a picture and understand if you see that moving forward, whatever that pattern is, whatever led to that situation, if you can recognize it and then make a better decision next time or understand maybe where there's a better opportunity to look for an advantage, we'll try to help them with that, and we'll show it on film. We'll talk and walk a bit on the court and rep it out and trust our guys will continue to make good decisions as they learn what they're looking for.
Yeah, I used to love Greg Popovich, and he would say that all the time. Basketball's a game of mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
There are going to be a lot of mistakes in every game by both teams. And so it's that's exactly what it is. It's how you overcome those mistakes and how you make less of them than the team you're playing. And that's the key. But Pop would say that all the time. It's a game of mistakes.
It's interesting because Pop is still very much a part of what is going on. And the idea that he's been around and by all accounts, not overbearing, but using his knowledge, his skill. He still works for the team. He's El Jefe. But a guy like Wemby who, says he talks and communicates with Pop all the time, that, remember all the back in the day when Pop didn't even have a computer on his desk or check email, and now he's texting everybody. Even old people learn to adapt. But Wemby was asked yesterday if he's talked with Pop since Game 1.
I haven't talked to him yet, but yes, he's texted me.
Care to expound on what that text entailed?
In the big lines, it was that I've been bad and I'm better than this.
You suck tonight. You're better than that. Sometimes that's all you need to hear.
That's it.
Right?
Yeah.
And who knows with Pop how colorful the language was on a text message. But, bottom line is you were bad tonight, and you're better than that. And sometimes that's all it needs to be. We could go into the weeds on all kinds of stuff, but he was bad. The team was bad. They didn't make their threes. They didn't win the game. And it is as simple as that for this Spurs team. If you're shooting threes in the 30%, mid-30s, or 40s even, you're going to win. If you're in the 20s, you're not going to win.
It's a simple game, isn't it? Really is.
And when you break it down,
yeah. You make more buckets than the other guy, and, you're going to win.
Just score more one than them, and you're going to win.
It's just that simple. But, we got to talk about something. I don't know what New York does to counter anything that I think they have a pretty good game plan. It's the Spurs, I think. And obviously the team that loses has to come up with more adjustments than the team that wins. Will New York have something up their sleeve? Perhaps. But I think it's the Spurs that need to adjust. And I think, I don't know, that New York team is going to play a little bit better too. I'm excited about tonight's game, Jason, because I think it's going to be a really good one. And I think both teams are going to play much better. And we're going to see a true NBA Finals game tonight where both teams are clicking and playing well.
You think about the most watched NBA Finals Game 1 since 2018, which was Golden State and Cleveland. If I remember right, didn't that one go 7?
I believe so, yeah.
And audience peaking around 20 million. Average audience was 17 million. A 90% increase from last year's Game 1 between Indiana and Oklahoma City. And you got to figure tonight, being a Friday night, is going to be even crazier when it comes to how many people are tuning in to watch this game.
Yeah.
And I hope and I expect Wemby to put on a show, because for the casual fan, and when you see numbers like that, there are a lot of people that are watching that don't watch all the time. And they probably watched Victor the other night and went, what's all the hype about?
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
I hope tonight you go, holy crap, that guy is not human.
Well, true, and we expect that, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
We expect that, and I just think it's from everybody. I expect De'Aaron Fox to play better, and I sure hope he does, because of all the people, of all the Spurs in Game 1, I think he's the one that took the most criticism, critique, and all of that stuff. I understand it. He's getting paid a hell of a lot of money, just got a big contract. I understand all of that. We expect him to play well. But I think he took most of the heat. I would really like to see De'Aaron Fox have a game tonight where people will just kind of back off a little bit and leave him alone, in honesty. And it's cool to criticize. I mean, it's okay to do that. But he's such a good dude. Well, he's a nice guy.
All of that is true. And I think part of the reason why he took more criticism than you might expect is because Wemby can do no wrong. And Wemby should be criticized for his Game 1 performance. But
Absolutely.
I know there's a lot of people out there listening right now that would rather put that criticism on De'Aaron Fox than on Victor Wembanyama. Both of them are bad.
I asked Rob Thompson today, and I know we need to take a break, but I was curious. And I'm interested to hear your thoughts, Jason. And I'm trying to think back of as long as we've covered the San Antonio Spurs, is there a more protected Spur than Victor Wembanyama by the fan base? I can't remember. And Rob brought up David Robinson back when they were calling him, the Little Mermaid.
The Little Mermaid.
And I remember that, and obviously we took up for it. But it seems like Wemby, this fan base has his back, whether he plays well or he doesn't play well. And you really saw it after Game 1, I think. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
You know, it is interesting, but to a degree you're right. But David and Timmy didn't really play in the social media time frame.
True.
Because there were a lot of people that wondered if David could actually get it done. You know, and he didn't until Tim Duncan showed up. All the Little Mermaid stuff, we defended him, but you also kind of was, you know what I mean? Like probably there wasn't the social media aspect for those guys. Because, even in the heyday, Tim Duncan was somewhat protected, and Tony Parker, of the big three, Tony Parker took more heat than any of them.
He did. He took a hell of a lot of heat, and you're right, perhaps the most. But you're going to head out to the Frost Bank Center.
Yeah, after we talk to Antonio Daniels.
Okay, after we talk to Antonio Daniels, you're going to head out to the Frost Bank Center. We'll talk to you when you get down there. But yes, Antonio Daniels, he's going to join us next here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
If you need your logo on any kind of gear, you need some promotional items made, you need to get into Sammy's Embroidery and Printing down on San Pedro. You need that logo on a dress shirt, a golf shirt, a fishing shirt, Sam will get you taken care of. He's got all the big name brands, Nike, Under Armour, Adidas, Travis Matthew, North Face, Eddie Bauer, even now a full line of Tommy Bahama. You need T-shirts, screen printed, Sam will get you taken care of. He has over 25,000 caps and more than 75 color combinations on display in his showroom. Over 700 uniform lines to choose from. If you need signs done, his sign shop can do signs, flags, banners, card magnets, vehicle wraps, window decals, and so much more. Nobody has better pricing. No order too small, no order too big. And Sam is the only company in Texas that offers one-day turnaround. Call Sammy's Embroidery and Printing, 210-824-3900, or go by that massive showroom on San Pedro, a mile inside Loop 410, right there across from the McDonald's, or check the website, samsembroidery.com, for Sammy's Embroidery Club.
Riding 410 with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6, KTFM Floresville, and everywhere at sasportstar.com.
Here in Texas, we know that trust is earned and reputation matters. Since 1993, Thomas J. Henry dedicated himself to building a firm that injured clients can trust and that Texans can respect. A firm where no defendant is too big and no case is too small. Backed by a track record of success and a commitment to our clients, Thomas J. Henry remains the name you can depend on if you have been injured. Trust the firm that stands for you. Trust Thomas J. Henry. San Antonio, Texas.
The U.S. Treasury just released its official financial report for 2025. Buried in it is a startling admission. By its own numbers, it appears the U.S. government is insolvent. When governments go this deep in debt, they print money, raise taxes, or cut benefits, none of which can help protect you. That's why people move part of their savings into physical gold and silver. Call Monetary Gold at 877-NOW-GOLD for their complimentary gold and silver guide. That's 877-NOW-GOLD. Call Monetary Gold now at 877-NOW-GOLD. Do it before the next headline, not after. Performance may vary. You should always consult your financial and tax professional.
Big color, bigger savings. Sherwin-Williams Super Sale is here. Get 40% off paints and stains June 5th through the 11th with prices starting at $30.89. Whether you're refreshing your interior or exterior, we've got the colors to bring your vision to life. And with delivery, getting everything to your door is easier than ever. Shop online to have it delivered or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details. Delivery available on qualifying orders.
The largest gun show in San Antonio is at the Shriner Auditorium this weekend. Texas Gun Shows is open today, 4 to 7 p.m., 10 a.m. to 5 Saturday, and then 10 a.m. to 4 Sunday. Texas Gun Shows is at the Shriner Auditorium on 1604 today through Sunday. Ever tried answering emails with kids running through the house? Coldplay Cove is the better way to work and parent. A modern family space where you can grab coffee, work, recharge, and connect while your child safely learns and plays nearby. Built for families, rooted in community. Learn more at coldplaycove.com.
I love a girls' weekend, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can sometimes take me out of the moment. Now I'm all in with clearer skin, thanks to Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy.
You can usually find me in the kitchen, but my active psoriatic arthritis can limit me at times. Now I'm still in the mix with Skyrizi to treat my joint symptoms.
With Skyrizi, most people with plaque psoriasis saw 90% clearer skin when measured from head to toe at 4 months.
Or if you're an adult with active psoriatic arthritis, Skyrizi helps you move with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
There's nothing like clearer skin.
There's nothing like better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, looks like the Chicago Bears are headed to Indiana. The Bears board of directors voted to advance their stadium development in Hammond, Indiana, with the exact site still to be determined. First time the Bears board has voted on any stadium site. Texas Rangers kick off a series with the Cleveland Guardians in Arlington tonight. You can catch that game on your home for Rangers baseball. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, beginning at 6:30.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
From the studios of San Antonio's Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Blitz. 2 decades on the radio, Jason Minix. 2 decades on TV, Joe Reinagel. 2 San Antonio sports voices you've trusted for years. This is The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is a game day here on The Blitz, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagel. He is Jason Minix, and oh my goodness, big game tonight, no question.
That is an understatement. Let's talk about it. On the Buyers Barricades guest line, a man that's won a ring with the Spurs, now doing great work on NBA radio on Sirius XM, used to be a teammate here on San Antonio Sports Star, Antonio Daniels. How you doing, my friend?
I'm good, man. You know, I don't like that every time that I come on and y'all introduce me, y'all never bring up the fact that I'm also the color analyst for the New Orleans Pelicans. Is that personal?
No, is that a team or what?
We'll get to that. I mean, you know, your intro was so long that, you know, on the resets, we'll get to the color analyst of the New Orleans Pelicans, but he makes his home in San Antonio.
There you go. Yep, there you go. Ain't that the truth?
Ain't that the truth? Well, I want to start, AD. I mean, obviously, tonight is a big game. I want to go back on a very personal level. Game 1, I saw you post on social media in the suite with Greg Popovich and a lot of your other former teammates. How was Pop doing, and did you get a chance to visit with Greg Popovich?
I did get a chance. And the thing is, that's not the first time I've actually sat up there with Pop. I've sat up there with him in the Oklahoma City series as well. but he's doing well. He's doing good. Still talking basketball. I even asked him during this last game when we were sitting there, and I asked him, I said, do you miss it? And he said, you have no idea how much.
Oh, wow.
I wish I was down there so bad right now. You know what I mean? So it's like that part of you, that competitive nature piece, it just doesn't go. It just doesn't go.
He's
doing well, though.
That's good.
Doing well.
Glad to hear that. I'm glad he's participating a little bit, and that Mitch Johnson feels comfortable enough to have him in there and talk to the guys, and I think that's made a difference in especially that Oklahoma City series with the fellas. I've got to ask you though, when you get around Pop and some of the other guys that you played with here in San Antonio, just how special is that, and why is there such a huge bond between all of you guys?
Yeah, I don't know. I got asked this question on another platform a couple days ago. And honestly, Joe, I can't answer that question because I think about, like, in my 13-year career, the different teams that I played on, the different guys that I played with. There's not a team that I played on, and it's more than just the fact that this is home for me, because there are guys that I still talk to weekly, bi-weekly, that don't live in San Antonio, but were my teammates. There's not a team that I played on that I keep in close contact with them the way I do with my Spurs team when I was here. Malik doesn't live here. Me and Malik went to breakfast yesterday, yesterday, as a matter of fact. Avery doesn't live here. Every time I go to Dallas with the New Orleans Pelicans, me and Avery go to lunch or breakfast or dinner. Like, it's other guys that live outside of San Antonio. Obviously, with Tim and David and Sean and guys that are still here, I keep in close contact with those guys. But I don't know. Maybe it's a culture thing. That's just something that the San Antonio Spurs organization, they breed. Because here's the thing, fellas. I think about it like this. I was traded from San Antonio in 2002. Think about that. That's 24 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
24 years ago, the last time I played in a San Antonio Spurs uniform. But yet, when I go to games, when I'm around, they still treat me as if I'm a San Antonio Spur. They still treat my family as if we are San Antonio Spurs. And I think that is a direct reflection, whether it's Greg Popovich, R.C. Buford, Tom James, TJ, anybody. Just the amount of appreciation that I have still for this organization decades later. Like, it's so awesome. I couldn't be more happy for this organization, and in particular, those guys.
Absolutely. New Orleans Pelicans broadcaster Antonio Daniels here on the Blitz on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. I know when all you guys are together, and you do this for a living, whether it's with the Pelicans or Sirius XM, you're breaking down all the games and what needs to happen. And I know it's going to be the same when you're just around all your teammates, because everybody's a basketball junkie. What do the Spurs have to do tonight to get this series even at 1?
And I'll be honest. This game to me, Game 1 to me felt very similar to Game 1 against the Minnesota Timberwolves. And, after a Game 1, there's always an overreaction, one way or another. There's always an overreaction. Everybody becomes a coach. What Mitch Johnson should have done, what he should have done, what Wemby should have done. Everybody becomes a coach. And I remember after the Minnesota Game 1, we were actually in attendance for that game, and I remember walking out and talking to my wife about it because Minnesota stole Game 1 in San Antonio. And what you hope at that time is the coach doesn't overreact. Like, that's one of the things that you never really – there's a difference between making adjustments and overreacting. What Mitch Johnson didn't do after Game 1 against Minnesota is he didn't overreact. What Mark Daigneault didn't do after Game 1 when San Antonio stole one in Oklahoma City, he didn't overreact. So what everybody expects now, and everybody wants from Mitch Johnson, is a huge overreaction. And sometimes, and I know this sounds simplistic, sometimes it's simply about guys playing better. That's all. It's not about, well, you got to start Dylan Harper and you got to bring – it's not even about that sometimes. Sometimes it's about the fact that De'Aaron Fox needs to play better. Victor Wembanyama needs to be more efficient. and guys need to get back to who they are. And now once you get that, if you still lose games, now you can talk about not even pressing the panic button, but now you can talk about more major adjustments that needs to happen. Because here's the thing about the game one. If you look at this from a San Antonio Spurs perspective, tell me who in game one played well outside of Dylan Harper.
Crickets.
Yeah, nobody.
I mean,
that's what I mean. That's exactly like if you can tell me, man, Stephon Castle balled out, and Victor Wembanyama balled out, and Keldon Johnson played well off the bench. Harrison Barnes, that's not the case. So sometimes it simply comes down to guys playing better than they did from game one to game two. Not about a huge coach adjustment that has to happen.
Well, Antonio, that brings up a good question then, and obviously guys have bad nights. I mean, we see it all the time. You watch an NBA season, guys have good nights, they have bad nights. But when that many guys don't play well, is there something we should read into that, or is it one of those nights that all of those guys just played poorly on the same night?
Is there something you should read into? Like, it happens. I will say this, though. This is the one takeaway that I did have. Being there, and it was about 5 minutes into the game, I saw Wemby bending over and grabbing his shorts. And, listen, maybe today that's not an issue. But I do know this. I don't care how good and talented Victor Wembanyama is. And I've gone before, and I think he has the potential to be the greatest player to ever touch a basketball. I have no problem saying that. But he's still human. You know when you watch a boxing match and in the first 3 or 4 rounds where there's a boxer in particular that is focused on the body, and then by the time you get to rounds 10 and 11 and 12, the championship rounds, those body blows that he took in round 1, 2, and 3 start to take hold? I'm wondering if the physicality in the Minnesota series and you add the 51 minutes and going to Game 7 in the Oklahoma series, along with the physicality in the Oklahoma series from Isaiah Hartenstein and Alex Caruso and those guys bumping and throwing Wemby around, I wonder now, in the NBA Finals, Victor Wembanyama is facing the most physical front line in the NBA with Karl-Anthony Towns, Mitchell Robinson, Josh Hart, OG Anunoby. I wonder what kind of physical toll that will take on him.
You know, Antonio, as you say that, and people that have called in or this show or commented on our YouTube page, he's young, how's he tired? And I just don't understand. I guess they don't understand the rigors of an NBA schedule, right?
Yeah, you know why he's tired? Because there's not a player that's playing in this playoffs, still remaining, that has that responsibility on him. There isn't. There's not one. Jalen Brunson's really good. Jalen Brunson is really good. But you know what? Jalen Brunson doesn't have to cover up every defensive mistake. He doesn't have to be as impactful on the defensive side of the ball as he does on the offensive side of the ball. Jalen Brunson is also playing with another all-star and Karl-Anthony Towns. The amount of responsibility on Victor Wembanyama's shoulders, regardless of age, like, we can't say things like, well, he's only 22 years old. How can he be tired? Go back and look at that Oklahoma City series where he played 51 minutes in game one. Every time Victor Wembanyama comes off the floor, and this is no disrespect to Luke Cornett, when Victor Wembanyama comes off the floor, it's a mental trigger in the opposing team that says, okay, the gates are open, let's go. That's why Mitch Johnson can't afford to sit him. And I tell you this, fellas, I feel like guys don't know what they don't know. And what I mean by that is this. If you remember when the Dallas Mavericks made it to the NBA Finals and lost, one of the things that Luka said at the time is he didn't realize the condition that he needed to be in to make a run all the way to the NBA Finals. And he had been to the playoffs before. He had been to the play-in before. So he had been through some of these steps before. Victor Wembanyama has never played in the postseason. This is only year 3 from him. So guys don't know what they don't know. And more than anything, regardless as to what happens, one, this is the worst Victor Wembanyama and the San Antonio Spurs will be for the next decade. They're not going to Benjamin Button this and head in the other direction. It's not happening. You know what I mean? These guys will continue to get better. And two, regardless as to what happens, these are great reps and learning opportunities for Victor Wembanyama, Stephon Castle, Dylan Harper, and these young San Antonio Spurs.
Yeah, I don't think there's a better education they could have gotten than what they're getting right now, regardless of how this series turns out. I've got to ask you, as a point guard, Antonio, when you look at De'Aaron Fox, and obviously he's getting a lot of criticism. He didn't have a good game, obviously, in Game 1. Do you think he's still hurt? Is that still a crutch that we can lean on, or was it just a bad game?
No. Two things can be true at the same time. Two things can be true at the same time. I know 100%. I can tell you this 100%. He's not healthy. He's not. I will 100% tell you that. But on the other side, I will also tell you that he has to play better. And he'll tell you the same thing. Because if you're going to go out there and you're going to put yourself out there, which I respect. I love De'Aaron Fox. I love him as a person, as a player. I love his family. If you're going to go out there, like, you have to perform. And here's the thing. De'Aaron Fox, like, everybody and God, this is such a hard conversation to have. Because as you guys know, covering football, doesn't everybody always love the backup quarterback?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Everybody loves the backup quarterback. Don't let the starting quarterback have a bad game. Now, everybody's saying, oh, you know what, backup quarterback. I love Dylan Harper. I think Dylan Harper is an all-star, a superstar in the waiting. He reminds me of James Harden in Oklahoma City when he was playing with Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant. Like, he's that good this early. But here's the thing. These guys can play together. It doesn't have to be one or the other. And Joe, you just talked about the amount of criticism that De'Aaron Fox gets. De'Aaron Fox can't afford to play a bad game. Other guys can afford to play a bad game. It cannot be De'Aaron Fox with people coming down on him. And like, And I heard this after Game 1 against the Minnesota Timberwolves when he played poorly then. And I said this at that time. De'Aaron Fox and Victor Wembanyama, who struggled in Game 1 versus Minnesota as well at home, they have to play better. And they did play better. And it's so funny in this league how quickly people forget. Because De'Aaron Fox balled out in Game 7 against Oklahoma City. Played his tail off. But again, this is a what have you done for me lately league. Yep. De'Aaron Fox has to play better. Victor Wembanyama has to play better. Stephon Castle has to play better. And being at home tonight for Game 2, I would have the confidence in the fact that they would do just that.
Well, that's it. Antonio Daniels here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars. This time of year, you're as good as your last game. I know with what you just said, are you expecting when this series shifts to New York for Game 3 to be tied 1-1?
I am. I definitely am. I actually, I'm surprised New York got Game 1. I thought if they would get one of the two, it would be Game 2. But here's the thing, man. I think when you look at the Eastern Conference, I know Spurs fans in particular that I've had, and I've had many conversations with Spurs fans since Game 1. Actually, during Game 1, after Game 1. They didn't pay much attention to the Eastern Conference. So when the New York Knicks were running through the Atlanta Hawks and the Philadelphia 76ers and Joel Embiid, and then Donovan Mitchell and James Harden and the Cleveland Cavaliers, they weren't really paying attention to them. Because let's be honest, the Eastern Conference is not as sexy as the Western Conference. It's not. So a lot of people weren't paying as much attention to the East. But I tell you what, if you were paying attention to the Eastern Conference, you saw how good this New York Knicks basketball team is. From Game 3 of the first round against the Atlanta Hawks, they've now reeled off 12 games in a row, all by double figures. They have the best offensive rating in the playoffs in history. In history. So when people look at me and I'm walking throughout the city and people are like, man, what do you think happened to our Spurs in Game 1? Like, no, I'm going to tell you what happened. What happened is you guys are playing a really good basketball team with the best closer in the NBA. There's not a person in the league when there's 3 minutes or less and I need a basket that I would rather have the ball in their hands than number 11 for the New York Knicks, Jalen Brunson.
Well, the guy was spectacular in Game 1. I mean, obviously, it was just it's so pretty to see a player just take over for a team like he did and put him on his back and play the way that he did. I mean, he's unstoppable when he does that. Let me ask you this, Antonio, because I've heard this a lot. When you look at the New York Knicks and the Spurs head-to-head, it looks like a bad matchup for the Spurs. Am I way off on that, or is there anything to that?
I don't know. I tell you, the thing that the Knicks bring to the table is something that the Portland Trailblazers didn't bring. It's something that the Minnesota Timberwolves didn't bring, and it's also something that the Oklahoma City didn't bring. And that's the fact that they have somebody that Wemby has to go out there and guard. They don't have someone on their roster that you can hide Wemby on and keep him playing a free safety role, kind of being around the rim. If you go back and you look at Portland, he could guard Donovan Clingan. Just kind of hang out around the rim. You can go back and look at Minnesota, where he can guard Julius Randle and Rudy Gobert and Terrence Shannon Jr., where he can hang out around the rim and dare those guys to shoot. And then you look at Oklahoma City with Isaiah Hartenstein and some of those other guys, where he can hang around the rim. You look at this New York Knicks roster, and you saw this in Game 1. Wemby has to guard someone. And what I mean by that is the moment that Wemby goes out and he's guarding Karl-Anthony Towns, who is probably the best shooting big man in the league, now that leaves the rest of the team to play 4-on-4. Good luck. Good luck. So the Knicks, they bring a different roster construction to the table that the San Antonio Spurs have yet. I am so interested in Game 2 and now moving forward, because my eyes aren't on players. My eyes are on the matchups and the adjustments that Coach Mitch Johnson makes. Because remember, as much as we talk about this stuff, he hasn't coached in the NBA Finals either. He is a very, very young coach as far as experience is concerned with being that head guy.
Very true. Antonio Daniels, Spurs legend, still part of the family, New Orleans Pelicans broadcaster, but a San Antonio guy through and through. AD, I can't believe this is year 25 for your basketball camp.
Oh, my God. Yeah, it is.
So 25. I mean, you started this thing when you were 9, and we all understand that.
And you know the crazy thing is, I remember there was a point about 9 years ago, maybe 10 years ago, and we were 15, 16 years in. I told my wife at the time, I said, I think this is my last year doing camp. And she said, no, it can't be. It can't be. So then we had a son. And I said, you know what? Now I am going to have this camp to the point where at least my son can participate. Our son, AJ, turned 8 years old yesterday. He's gone to camp the last 2 years. This is something when I tell you guys, as you guys know already, this is something that I generally, with all my heart and soul, it makes my summer. It makes my summer. You guys have a producer there. His name is Edwin, and he called me today about, just to get on the show with you guys. And Edwin came to camp.
Yep.
Edwin used to come to my basketball camp. So it is something, as you guys know, that me and my family take the ultimate amount of pride in. I tell parents all the time, this is the best camp your child will ever attend, because they will leave out of this camp with more knowledge about life, not just how to dribble a basketball.
Well, what I love about it, AD, is you're there every day. I mean, so the kids are going to get to say hello to you, talk to you, shake your hand. I mean, you are there in person every single day.
Yeah, it's not one of those camps where I just put my name on it and I show up one day and I sign autographs and I leave. I will open every camp with prayer, close every camp with prayer, teach, instruct, run up and down with them. Everything that I would have wanted if I was a child and I was in a camp that was taught by an ex-NBA player, I'm going to try and be as a teacher, because I feel like life is about paying it forward. It is. And for parents that don't have the information, you can go to danielsfamilyfoundation.com. It's ages 6 to 17. If you have a young one that is trying to learn the game of basketball, you have someone that's more advanced with the game of basketball. We don't turn anybody away. If your child can't afford to come or you can't afford to send your child, we do give scholarships. This is a camp that I want every child, if they have an opportunity to be a part of, to be a part of. We feed the kids at camp. Every kid at camp gets a T-shirt. It's as you guys know, it's something I'm passionate about. It's something that we love doing and something I hope to continue to do as long as God will let me.
The 25th annual Antonio Daniels basketball camp, July 27th through the 30th. It's going to be over at Cornerstone. Again, more details, DanielsFamilyFoundation.com. Antonio Daniels, enjoy the game tonight. Go Spurs, go.
Amen. Appreciate it, fellas.
Thank you, AD.
Thanks, Jason. Appreciate you guys.
Antonio Daniels. Love hearing from Antonio Daniels. He'll tell you like it is. Of course, he was joining us on the Buyers Barricades guest line. Buyers Barricades provides traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond. Online at buyersbarricades.com. Jason Minix has just run out the door. He's headed down to the Frost Bank Center, where we're going to visit with him coming up here in just a little bit. But AD said a lot of interesting things. And it is difficult to look at this New York team and figure out, because I think one of the most truthful things he said there was the fact that, look, we don't pay that much attention to the Eastern Conference. And I know there are a lot of basketball junkies out there who watch just about everything, but I don't pay a whole lot of attention to the Eastern Conference. I mean, the Western Conference and Western Conference basketball play is just so much better to me. So much more exciting to watch. The ball just seems to move more. There's more exciting players in the Western Conference in my mind. And so I focus primarily on the Western Conference. And it's kind of cool to do that, but I don't pay much attention. Even the Eastern Conference Finals or the Eastern Conference playoff run. I mean, I watched some of it, but I'm not into it the way that I was with the Spurs playoff run. And even when the Spurs weren't in the playoffs, and if they weren't, I would still watch Western Conference playoff series more so than I would the Eastern Conference. So New York, who knew, right? And they come in as the third seed. So you're thinking, well, hell, whoever wins this Oklahoma City game or the Western Conference Finals is going to win. That's the real championship. But we forget, and you don't pay attention, and you don't see what the Knicks are doing and how they've been doing it. And that's the thing about it. And they've got some good players. Cat has fit in beautifully in New York. Jalen Brunson obviously is Jalen Brunson. That dude is unreal. Josh Hart is a guy that just does all the dirty work. I mean, he's one of those, and he plays defense like a madman. And they have got some players on there that all know their roles and all do what they have to do. But when push comes to shove and it's time for it's time for the game to be on the line, it's Jalen Brunson's team. And all of his teammates know it. If you watched that the other night, and I know we were all sad about that, and you're wondering, you got to stop this guy. Somebody, please, stop this guy. And the Spurs just couldn't get it done. And so, but taking over a game like that, don't you appreciate a basketball player like that who can do the things that he did against a very good Spurs defense? When he needed to score, he did. And I know some of his shots and some of his buckets were just circus shots. They were crazy. But that's what he does. That's not a freak of nature. I mean, that was not just lucky. He does that all the time. And so it's just amazing to me how this Knicks team has fit in. And we're getting our first look at it. And I think the other thing AD said there that was, to me, very important was they've got a front line that is going to continue to give Wemby some trouble. If he's guarding Cat's going to pull him out from underneath the basket when the Knicks have the basketball. And obviously, we know what happens there. The Knicks can get to the rack. They can score easily. Mitchell Robinson is a guy that's going to bang with Wemby, and that dude is a rebounding fanatic. I mean, he is a rebounding fanatic, and that's what he does. And he is just a big body. They might put hard on him as well. And it's just they've got guys that they can throw at Victor Wembanyama. And so we'll see what Wemby does or what Mitch Johnson has up his sleeve to counter some of the things that the New York Knicks did in Game 1 and move forward and try to get some success tonight. I think it's funny on our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page. I guess you, as a commentator, Edwin, it's funny. You can't compliment another team's player. It's just crazy to me that we can't do that. And I love the playoff series, man, because I've been told to move to Portland. I've been told to move to Minnesota. I've been told to move to OKC, that I should be working for those guys. And I'm the biggest Spurs fan of any of you. I promise you that. So, look, you tell it like it is. That's the way you do it. Would you guys want anything else, sincerely? You want to just sit up here and we'll just blow the Spurs for 4 hours? Let's just do that. It's ridiculous, y'all. You know, this Knicks team is going to be tough to beat. And it's going to be. And I think everybody saw that. Everybody saw that in Game 1. This is going to be a very difficult journey for the Spurs to get through. I still believe they will. And I think they'll find a way, and I think we'll see that tonight. I think you'll see the heart of a team that knows they didn't play well in Game 1, still had an opportunity to win that game, and didn't get it done. And they want to protect their home court. They know they can't go down 2-0. It'll be a very difficult journey back if they do. I think you're going to see a very different team. I think you're going to see a team that from head to toe, from Wemby to De'Aaron Fox to Steph Castle to Devin Vassell, hopefully even Keldon Johnson, Dylan Harper. I've already seen him out on the floor warming up. And I think all of these guys, it is going to be a different team that comes out tonight. I think I think the crowd's going to be into it. They're going to be into it, and it's going to be a loud, raucous, and the crowd's going to feel the desperation, I think, tonight. And so it's going to be a hell of an atmosphere. Drowned out those Knicks fans that are going to be inside the arena tonight. You know they're going to be there. Drown them out. Get crazy. The Jackals will be going nuts, and everybody else will. And I think it's going to be a great atmosphere, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And Jason Minnick and Rob Thompson will be there tonight. Let's see if they're better good luck charms than me and AJ were in Game 1, because we didn't do a very good job. So that's kind of the way it is, but it doesn't matter. You know what we're going to do? Because I can do this, and I can bribe you guys a little bit. If you want to go see the Missions on Tuesday night, in fact, it's $2 Tuesday. They're playing the Frisco Rough Riders. We got a family 4-pack of tickets that we're going to be giving away. It's all brought to you by 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. If you don't win the tickets, you can get them at, you go to milb.com/San Antonio. That's how you buy tickets to go see the Missions take on whoever you want to see it. But this game is Tuesday, June 9th, obviously next Tuesday. Spurs don't play Tuesday night. They play Monday and Wednesday of next week, so you got nothing else to do. So if you want to go and see the Missions and take 3 of your friends, well, you can do that. All you have to do now is be caller number 9 at 656-3776, 656-ESPN. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Hey, I want to tell you about Window Nation. It's hot outside. It's June. Summer's here, and it's only going to get hotter, which means you're going to be operating your air conditioner nonstop pretty much. I know mine's already been cranked up, and it's running, and it's going to be running from now until, whenever that first cold front comes in. And what I'm going to watch and see is how my electric bill goes up, if it does. Because that's going to tell me that maybe I need to look into getting some new windows from Window Nation. If you're doing that, if you've noticed an increase in your electric bill when you're cranking up that air conditioner, maybe because your windows just aren't good enough to keep that air inside and it's letting it leak out, meaning your air conditioner has to work that much harder. Well, Window Nation has got a great deal going on. It is a perfect time to upgrade those windows right now. They've got a buy 4, get 4 free sale. Just imagine replacing all your windows and getting half of them for free. What a deal. Plus, you can even get them with no money down, no monthly payment or interest for 2 years. This is a heck of a deal. You need to take advantage of this deal. And Window Nation is the company to go with because they just do it right. In fact, they offer a lifetime warranty. Lifetime warranty, not 10 years, not 20 years, lifetime. So if something happens to a window 20 years from now, guess what? Window Nation is going to come out and they're going to take care of it. Plus, they are rated A+ by the Better Business Bureau. Look, you don't want to wait to put an end to your window problems, have to pay the electricity bill you've been paying. You want to take advantage of Window Nation's buy 4, get 4 free sale. It's going on right now, but it's not going to last forever. It can't. It is too good of a deal. Here's what you need to do. You go to windownation.com. That's windownation.com. Do that to book your consultation.
The Morning Huddle.
Come to find out, it's a bar for people that play on the other team.
Okay.
I'm on the wrong team to be in that bar.
Is there any thought that, like, maybe in a different timeline you could possibly be on that team?
Well, it wasn't just me. It was our whole group, and I thought about it because looking at myself, I would me. I mean, look at me. Just look at me. Look at this. You telling me I couldn't get a drink or two? You couldn't. You know this?
Did anybody buy you a drink?
I have my cape on, and I come up to the bar asking him, would you? Would you?
Yeah.
And he goes, yes, I would.
The Morning Huddle with AJ and Rob. Weekday mornings 6 to 10. 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
San Antonio's newest sports headquarters, Novo Brewery. Craft beers, full bar, hard kombucha on tap, a handcrafted food menu, and massive LED screens. Attached to North Star Mall with late hours. Visit novobrew.com. That's novobrew.com.
What does it mean to work with one of the largest personal injury law firms in Texas? At Thomas J. Henry, it means we can take cases all the way to trial when others would have accepted a low settlement offer. It means Thomas J. Henry can put our team of legal minds, investigators, and medical experts to work for you. It means you get personal attention and access to our team when you need us. Visit thomasjhenrylaw.com. Thomas J. Henry, the name you know, the firm you trust. Principal Office, San Antonio.
Hey guys, it's AJ, and between us, when you hit a certain age, things start to feel a little bit off. You're tired all the time, your energy's low, and maybe your drive isn't what it used to be. A lot of that can come down to low testosterone. That's why I want you to give a call to Game Day Men's Health, Alamo Ranch on Wiseman Boulevard. They understand what guys are dealing with, and they make the process so easy. The office has a relaxed man cave vibe. Everything starts with a free testosterone test done right there in their in-house lab. After that, you'll meet with a licensed provider to create a custom treatment plan designed for you. And here's the best part, you can start treatment the same day. After a month, you'll be noticing more energy, a better mood, and a boost in your libido. Don't settle. Be the best version of yourself. After a month, you can notice more energy, a better mood, and a boost in your libido. Give them a call, 830-376-9100. 830-376-9100. 830-376-9100 for Game Day Men's Health, Alamo Ranch.
We have meaningful basketball being played in San Antonio for the first time in years, and you know the Roof Hub has proven to be the best place to go watch the games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the fights, and when you show up at the Roof Hub, show up hungry. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch the game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roof Hub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Mellow Mushroom has the best pizza in San Antonio. Mellow delivers the best pizza experience with their delicious dough, premium ingredients, and unique flavors. Delivering a higher order of pizza is the standard. If Mellow can make a pizza this delicious, imagine what they can do with munchies, greens, calzones, and burgers. Mellow Mushroom has San Antonio's best happy hour with food specials and half-off adult beverages. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
You could win unmatched views of the match during the Twin Peaks Go for the Gold giveaway presented by Michelob Ultra and Casamigos. Visit TwinPeaksSoccer.com to enter for your chance to win by June 14th. Twin Peaks, eats, drinks, scenic views.
Let's get wild.
Wemby has arrived at the Frost Bank Center. The NBA has put out some videos. He's walking down. He's got on some shorts, tennis shoes with socks, a T-shirt, and a sweater. You know, that sweater kind of looks like back in the 50s days. You know what I mean? Like Richie Cunningham kind of sweater. He looks sharp, looks good. He's got a serious look on his face, and it looks like he's going to Well, he's serious. He's locked in, as they would say. Hi, everybody. This is The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. We're going to go down to the arena coming up after this quick break. The clock's a little messed up. We went a little long with Antonio Daniels. So I'm going to take a quick break here. When we come back, it is Game Night San Antonio. We're going to head down to the Frost Bank Center where Jason Minix is standing by. He's going to set the scene for us for a big Game 2 here tonight in the NBA Finals. This is The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. And I want to tell you about the Golf Club of Texas. You know, we got a perfect weekend. Spurs don't play Saturday or Sunday. So you got a free weekend. You can do whatever you want. How about playing some golf out at the Golf Club of Texas? You know, with all this rain that we've had, it is a fantastic place out there right now. The grass is green. The greens are fantastic. Everything is just looking great. Get on out there and play some golf. If you can't do it this weekend, guess what? They're open 7 days a week. It's going to look like a schwanky country club, but it's not. It's open 7 days a week. Their staff is outstanding. Then they've got the 10 Cup Bar and Grill. Oh, my goodness. The food is fantastic. They got a full bar. They've got so many beer selections that you can choose from. Any kind of cocktail that you want. It is just a great place. Even if you're not playing golf, head down to the 10 Cup Bar and Grill. Take your family. Take your friends. It is a great place to just go down and enjoy a great meal that's not going to break the bank. Look, the Golf Club of Texas, you know exactly where it is. It's right there off Briggs Ranch Road off Highway 90. Whether it's for dinner at the 10 Cup or around with your buddies, your next tournament, go check them out. Best rates always online at golfclubtexas.com. The Golf Club of Texas is the friendliest golf course in Texas.
Got a buddy who thinks he knows baseball? Perfect. On Rangers game days, prove it with the Morning Huddle's Rangers Double Dinger Payday. Pick the Ranger you think will launch it out of here. He hits one, you and a friend are headed to a Rangers game. He hits two. Now, you've got tickets and hotel. Yeah, you're making a night of it, and your buddy's buying the first round. Wake up with the Morning Huddle. Call your shot and win the Morning Huddle's Rangers Double Dinger Payday. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the Texas Rangers.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from IQ Bar. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at eatiqbar.com/policy/terms of service.
I've got good news and bad news. Here's the bad news. Most protein bars are packed with sugar and unpronounceable ingredients. The good news? There's a better option. I'm Will, and I created IQ Bar plant protein bars to empower doers like you with clean, delicious, low-sugar brain and body fuel. IQ Bars are packed with 12 grams of protein, brain nutrients like magnesium and lion's mane, and zero weird stuff. And right now, you can get 20% off all IQ Bar products, plus free shipping. Clean ingredients, amazing taste, and you'll love how you feel. Refuel smarter, hydrate harder, caffeinate larger with IQ Bar.
Try our delicious IQ Bar sampler pack with 9 plant protein bars, 8 hydration mixes, and 4 mushroom coffee sticks. And now you can get 20% off all IQ Bar products plus free shipping when you text RADIO to 64,000. Text RADIO to 64,000 to get your 20% off. That's RADIO to 64,000.
San Antonio's newest sports headquarters, Novo Brewery. Juicy, thick-cut ribeye, picanha prime sirloin, Brazilian empanadas, stacked burgers, and more. This is Bring Your Appetite food. Novo is attached to North Star Mall with late hours. Visit NovoBrew.com.
That's the ease at which you get information. You want it, you get it. Like that. Ask your phone. Group chat. Smartphone. You're always connected and informed in real time. No waiting. So if you're diabetic and still using finger sticks to read your blood sugar, what are you waiting for? Knowing your blood sugar levels instantly is important for managing diabetes. Call US Med at 888-665-0696. To learn more about continuous glucose monitors, a real-time instant method to track your blood glucose, US Med is an approved provider for Medicare and over 1,000 private insurers. And the best part? Call 888-665-0696 and we'll give you a free insurance benefits check today. So call 888-665-0696 today. That's 888-665-0696 and manage your diabetes as easy as...
The
The San Antonio Gunslingers are out on the road battling across the league, but they're coming back home strong. Mark your calendars. Saturday, June 13th, they ride into town to take on New Mexico in a huge home showdown. Stay locked in with the team on social media and at SanAntonioGunslingers.com. Tickets for the June 13th home game are on sale now. Get yours today and bring the family out for professional indoor football. The San Antonio Gunslingers. Lock and load.
This Father's Day, join the Blitz live at Coldplay Cove in Stone Oak. Enjoy Dad and Me sports activities, coffee tastings, giveaways, raffles, and family fun built for modern families. Grab your tickets now through the events page at coldplaycove.com.
Kohl's lowest prices of the season are here, and suddenly checking the price feels thrilling. Not scary thrilling, the good kind. The, wait, is that right kind? Summer styles, lower. Must-have appliances, lower. Bedding, fluffier and lower. Yep, they're the kind of prices that make you look twice. You know, for the rush. Go ahead and see for yourself at Kohl's and Kohl's.com. Select styles, offers end June 7th. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
San Antonio and New York. This is where you come to talk about the finals. 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. This is Game Night San Antonio. Brought to you by Vision Source on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. Every weekday game night, The Blitz with Jason and Joe get you inside and ready for tonight's game. From insiders to an in-depth preview of tonight's game, this is Game Night San Antonio. Brought to you by Vision Source. Beyond your eyes.
It is Game Night San Antonio, brought to you by Vision Source. You can go to Vision Source South San Antonio. Dr. Diane Ramirez-Shank on South Flores between East South Cross and Southwest Military, or head over to Vision Source Castle Hills. You can go see Dr. Raul Trevino off Northwest Military and West Avenue. Big game for the San Antonio Spurs. It is Game 2 of the NBA Finals, and it is a big one. Let's head down to the Frost Bank Center right now, where Jason Minix has arrived and is setting the scene. Already saw your video, my friend. You walked right in the door, and you did your social media obligation. Good for you, buddy.
Well, you know, you kind of look at it. I know I've got work to do. I can work immediately and then enjoy and kind of take it all in, which is what I'm doing right now. I'm sitting center court, a couple rows behind where Mike Breen will be set up for the call tonight on ABC, and thinking how awesome this would be if I could have this seat for the next 5 hours. I know that won't be the case, but I'm also kind of taking in all the different pregame festivities. You know, to my right, the ESPN crew, Windhorst, and all those guys are over there. Avery Johnson just walked by. Rob Thompson just walked by in olive green pants, which is a little shocking, but something that I don't know that I mean, it's one of those things that you kind of think about or don't think about ever, but how cool of an event this is for the officials. I've never seen this before, but I imagine it happens, and watching it, you go, all right, this makes sense. All the officials in their suits were on center court taking photos, and then they all took individual photos and then individual photos with their families because they, too, are in the NBA Finals. You know, stuff like that you never think about. But for those officials, for Tony Brothers, I can't say that a Knicks player didn't come slip them some money on the way out. But, you know, just seeing stuff like that, all right, cool. I didn't know that happened. That's kind of cool.
It is absolutely cool. You know, they always make a big deal of the officials of the Super Bowl, and it's kind of like a reward to those guys. I'm assuming it's the same for the NBA referees to be able to go through the season and do a great job and then be rewarded by officiating NBA Finals games. I would be thrilled if I was official to be able to be out there and do a game in the NBA Finals.
Well, and it might be the one time tonight that Tony Brothers is going to be on the court and not get booed and hear refs, we suck. But, you know, the idea that they're real people, that they are, you know, taking photos with their families are here, they hear the chants, refs, we suck. And, you know, I wonder if the families are watching the game like, oh, man, that was a bad call. You know, like Wemby Farrant when he has a turnover. What were you doing there? I wonder if they're critical in that way.
I'm sure that they are, probably a lot more critical than a lot of us. I know Dylan Harper's dad, Ron, sent out a tweet in Game 1 criticizing the officials. I thought it was a very, very good called game in game one, and I'm hoping for the same thing tonight. But, yeah, you're right. Tony Brothers kind of has a reputation, and Spurs fans, they don't seem to like that dude very much.
Well, and that's it. Sorry, I'm distracted. Rob Thompson's making a video right now. Sitting right next to me, he found me, and he's talking about the great seats we're in right now and how much we love them. And as he said earlier, wherever you guys were, what was it, the Albanian radio network that we're going to be next?
Yeah,
to?
something like that. They were distracting. Yes.
I forgot the binoculars, so I totally missed that question. I blame Rob Thompson.
Well, that's okay. I don't know if Rob's okay. He might be limping a little bit. He had to actually do some physical exercise today, and I don't know if his knees handle that or not.
Well, I mean, I know if there wasn't an elevator, he'd be leaving the game right about now. Get your selfie near the center of the court and go from there. Now, I got to say, and I don't want to tell on Rob Thompson at all. I've already made fun of his pants. But he walked in, and he went to the other side. And his son has like fourth row seats, he and his fiance. Now, again, they've had those season tickets. Jack is obviously marrying up. But at what point do you say to your kid, dude, you got to take care of the old man and go from there? How you doing, man? And go from there. You see what I mean? I'm surprised Rob is not pestering his son like, dude, I am paying for your wedding. I get these seats in return.
Well, I think at this point in time, Jack's old enough to say, sorry, Dad. You snooze, you lose, buddy. That's just the way that it goes. It's the NBA Finals, man, and I'm sitting right here. All right, Jason, let's get into the game. They're showing a lot of stuff, a lot of highlights from Game 1 on ESPN. I can see it in there where Edwin is producing the show. And the Knicks got to the rack quite a bit. Now, and it wasn't all when Luke Cornett was in the game. Obviously, a lot of these highlights are when Cornett was in the game. But, again, as I'm watching this and bringing memory to my memory, again, Cat is bringing Wemby out from underneath the basket, allowing those Knicks cutters to get in there and get those easy buckets. That's something that's got to change tonight.
Well, and I don't know what kind of defensive switches Sean Sweeney and Mitch Johnson are going to come up with, but that is something that you certainly expect the Spurs to make an adjustment to, because you see those highlight packages where late in the game, Jalen Brunson was hunting Julian Champagnie, and they were doing everything they could to get that switch, knowing that he could dominate. Julian is a better defender than what we saw the other night, or at least I thought he was. But the other night, he just looked silly. He was almost as bad as Luke Cornett. And again, I think that's where some of the frustration comes from with Dylan Harper on the bench. Instead of, maybe replacing De'Aaron Fox with Dylan Harper, it might be Julian Champagnie. If this game is tight late, the Spurs have to figure out how to get their best defensive players on the floor and not worry about who's going to miss the three-pointer.
I think it will be tight late. I think all of these games are going to be fun to watch and come right down to the wire in a lot of respects. They're also showing a lot of De'Aaron Fox, and boy, I remember this well. He missed a lot of bunnies in this thing. We talked to Antonio Daniels just a few minutes ago, and he said he still believes that De'Aaron Fox is not 100%. He's still a little bit banged up. But I have to believe that De'Aaron Fox needed no pep talk from anybody. He knows he had a horrible game one, and I expect him to step up a little bit tonight. Let's go back to what we saw in the Minnesota series. Game one of that series, both Wemby and De'Aaron Fox were god-awful. And both of them responded in game two. And it was at that moment, I believe, that it was Mitch Johnson that said he didn't have to challenge De'Aaron Fox, but did remind him he doesn't have to wait until the fourth quarter to take over a game. He sets the tone. And, of course, Wemby. And when those guys are off, there is that domino effect. So I think Wemby will be fine. But if I'm Mitch Johnson, do you run some plays to get De'Aaron Fox some easy shots early? As I look at Julian Champagnie right now, just coming out on the floor, taking some shots, what he's doing right now are, taking some shots from 2 or 3 feet. He didn't go right out to start taking threes. But you wonder if they're going to start inside out instead of go outside in tonight's game offensively. Well, and maybe that will tell you something. The fact that he is practicing those shots, maybe they talked a little bit about staying away from the three-pointers to some extent. Obviously, that's their game, and that's what they're going to do. But maybe they saw some opportunities in game one where they could have gone to the basket instead of settling for those three-pointers. And maybe we'll see a little bit more of that.
Well, I know the corner three is Julian's shot, and he's going to get there. But, and I haven't seen De'Aaron Fox yet. Is Harrison Barnes just walked out? I'm waiting to see if he comes out and does something. But, because De'Aaron did have so many of those easy misses, shots that he normally makes in game one, if I'm Mitch, I'm trying to get him going early. And obviously I want to see Wemby get going early, but I want to see Wemby in the paint, get some of those early buckets and dominate, an early dunk, something that is going to get this crowd going because, it looks like the gates are open and I see some orange in here. And it's too early to say there's a lot of it, but even driving in, you could see a lot of orange. The Uber drop-off lot. And I got stopped. I don't know who was coming in, but they had a police escort, so everybody got stopped for a little while as the SUV went by. I have no idea who was in it, but you could just see, at least it felt like, and makes sense, out-of-town fans are going to come earlier because what else are they going to do? But, I have the sense that kind of like what you experienced in game one, heavy Knicks presence, so it is imperative for the Spurs crowd to get fired up early and keep rocking.
All right, Jason, when I was there for game one, obviously it was Fiesta colors. The arena was bright. It was colorful, obviously. I've seen some pictures of the arena. It looks more just like, hey, this is business tonight, and more like the Frost Bank Center. Set the scene for us and tell us what it looks like in there.
Well, instead of the Fiesta colors in which the Spurs are 1-3, this is a blackout game for the San Antonio Spurs. That's what one of the ushers told me, not only with the black flags, but also there are wristbands on every seat. Now, and you've been in arenas or stadiums where everybody has the wristband and they will light up at various times. And, but she was, the usher lady was like, the other day they all changed colors for the Fiesta colors depending on where you were sitting. I think tonight, she said, I can't wait to see what they're doing with it tonight. So there are going to be some moments. I don't know if they'll be on the TV side of things, but in the arena as different things are happening. But if people are wearing those wristbands, they're going to light up as well. But more of a blackout game with the black uniform for the Spurs and the black towels that say 2026 NBA Finals and have the Spurs logo.
All right, be sure you're following Jason Minix and SA Sports Star on all your socials because I know between Rob and Minix, they're going to be posting a lot of stuff tonight, take you behind the scenes and do all the stuff that they do. Jason, enjoy the game, my friend. It's going to be a lot of fun. Hopefully you and Rob are a little bit better luck than AJ and I were.
Well, I mean, it's obvious. I mean, we're always better than, the Jackals have just arrived as they are coming in to the arena. I'm certainly going to enjoy this game tonight, the NBA Finals back in San Antonio. And I know you're going on vacation. Enjoy Mexico, my friend.
Appreciate that, my friend. Enjoy the game tonight. Go Spurs, go. Jason Minix down at the Frost Bank Center along with Rob Thompson as well. And that's game time, man. We have talked about this thing. We talked about the loss. We talked about everything that the Spurs need to do tonight to get this thing done. Now all it is time is to get it done. I hope you all have a great weekend. Be sure and tune in Monday morning to the Morning Huddle. Minix and I be back at 2 o'clock. Good night, everybody.
Riding home with the Blitz.